Well, your favourite there at $2.40. It's about 20 cents longer on course. The on-course favourite is currently Mimi LeBrock. That $2.90 is a little bit of value. It's 40 cents shorter on course, hasn't budged.
Tana Fly was the ruling Golden Slipper favourite, but it certainly won't be after that inglorious display. They're off and racing. Good Dispatch. And coming out well, Sliding Cube, so too Seething Duck on the outside. Mimi LeBrock jumped out well and will land right on their tail. Just in behind them, Vecchia Roma, followed by Apasu, Hasta La Vista back to second last, and 2 lengths to last year's Slipper winner Forensics last of all. Second last and last of all is Forensics coming to the outside. Seething Duck dashed away, led by 2.5 to 3 lengths around the home turn. Sliding Cube's come away from the rail. Mimi LeBrock's coming up underneath it, and they're a couple of lengths in front of Vecchia Roma. Further back, Hasta La Vista. Sliding Cube crack rock there at the top of the rise, and it's Seething Duck led from Sliding Cube. He's trying to get going again on Mimi LeBrock, and further back Forensics is coming right down the outside. Sliding Cube went up and hit the lead. It's in front. Forensics is flying on the outside. Forensics is coming and got up. Forensics won the money, beat Sliding Cube. Photo third, Vecchia Roma or Seething Duck, and then Mimi LeBrock, who hit the fence at the top of the straight. Further back behind them next Apasu and Hasta La Vista last in.
Well, Rodney Quinn and Peter Snowden. Forensics, the Slipper winner of last year. Blinkers back on. She started $17 on track. They ran along at a very good clip, Seething.
She's a gutsy filly. She just keeps on trying $1.60, and Seething Duck, no third dividend. Richard Callender.
She got pretty excited, Pete. She hadn't won since the Golden Slipper. The spring last year, it wasn't the Forensics we knew.
Good comment. I think the Slipper took a fair bit out of her, Richard. Yeah. And the spell that she had when she came in, she just didn't look the same. She looked a tired, worn-out horse, and went to Melbourne, and we did everything to try and resurrect her. But it's pretty hard to get a horse to turn around that's not healthy inside to be healthy outside. And I also think she didn't have a big change for them.
In this race, you might have seen the interference there to Mimi LeBrock on the inside. Blake Shin was suspended. He'll miss the Golden Rose meeting. I know Peter doesn't want to make a comment, but I'm saying, look, I'm one of Huey Bowman's fans. I think Huey had the right over. He probably wouldn't have gone up. Blake Shin opened the gate.
Very popular, and I think Peter Snowden's becoming a very popular trainer, and what a fantastic training effort. Not only 5 winners, but he's sort of resurrected the career of Forensics here. She might have just had a flat prep her last one, but he's got her going again, and under difficult circumstances too, because trainers at Warwick Farm are doing it a little tough because they've got the works being done to accommodate the Ranvet horses when they go there for World Youth Day, and the track is not at its best, and it is, Brock, just make a little more ground. When she did get balanced in the last little bit, that was the only worry I had.
Did feel it a bit, Richard. Did feel it a bit. I spoke with Bart Cummings this morning. She did pull up a little bit sore yesterday. She's a bit better this morning, so we'll monitor
Syndicate making it 4 wins on the day.
Yeah, and it might be the second set of colours again. Of course, Hugh Bowman, I presume, on El Cambio wear the second set. All right, let's have a look at the totes. Number one, Zizou, toted out to $6.50 with the bookies. El Cambio's the hot favourite, but his barrier won the place to be. $3.65 on course. El Cambio, money for it now, $3.60 is a shade of value. It's $3.30 on course. Solo Flyer, as Richard said, has met with good value. Would be a market mover.
And stall, which may be a hindrance here because jockeys don't want to stay on the fence. King Dakar broke quickly in the centre shaft, and El Cambio jumped out well. And also up there is Without Compromise, and it looks like Kintyre is going up for the lead as well. So Kintyre put its head in front, led narrowly from shaft. Without Compromise is pulling on the compromise, won't settle. He's tugging for rein, pulling the jockey's arms out of the sockets, and led from Kintyre. Shaft is poking up, and King Dakar's out a little bit wide without cover. El Cambio is back on the inside, and further back was Solo Flyer, Harefield Road, Grand Dancer, Kratos, and Zizou was last for the judge. Turning for home now, and Without Compromise just in front of Kintyre. Shaft and El Cambio, the stablemates, are running on. Solo Flyer and King Dakar are coming down the centre of the track. They might be in the better ground, but El Cambio has sprinted through to hit the lead. King Dakar on the outside is trying to go with it. It's El Cambio on the inside, King Dakar on the outside. El Cambio is fighting. He's ducking off the track. He fights and wins it. El Cambio won it from King Dakar and Solo Flyer from Grand Dancer. Then Without Compromise, followed by Zizou and Kratos. Shaft gave up quickly from Harefield Road, and Kintyre has finished last of all.
El Cambio's got the bickies from King Dakar and Solo Flyer, 3, 5 and
Flyer from Grand Dancer.
Yeah, he's a beautiful type, El Cambio, and Petey's by, of course, a former Ingham-trained runner, Commands. El Cambio, just prior to EI, he'd won the Run to the Rose. He would have been the favourite going to the Golden Rose. How was he getting through EI and then back to the races?
He was one, Rich, that got it pretty bad, and thankfully we had...
Where does he go now, Pete, the Golden Rose again?
That's been his grand final, right from...
Last preparation.
Yeah, well, true. It's a follow-up from there, but he was one I identified early and just said, well, I'll get him up as good as I can and have him as hard as I can by that day, but that's his grand final in a fortnight.
So...
There'll be no. I thought Solo Flyer went okay, maybe just lacked a bit of match practice, and Grand Dancer's come back a better horse. The first four are the only four there.
Okay.
According to
Hangover.
Everyone on call, it's a Group 3 for the sprinters over the 1200.
The dollars is spot on. Dan Lee's friendless on track, surprising. $15 on the tote, $9 on track. Friday Creek's been well back, $4.60 to $4.20.
Trial well, of course, beating Hurried Choice. He's had 2 trials and trialled particularly well. And Often Racing. And jumping out quickly was Posadas, one of the best into stride. Hoystar and Friday Creek are up there. Mr. Ubiquitous and Dan Zippo is going up there as well. About 4 or 5 stretched across the track here early, followed by the Free Stater going back from Anwar, Lantwin, Thessio. Danley's back last of all. Hoy behind that line of 4. And then Thessio, the Free Stater. Danley will be last for the judge. Swinging the bend now, 500 to go. And the leader is Posadas just in front of Hoystar. Friday Creek starting to make ground from Lantwin. Anwar is right on the back of the leaders looking for a run, and then Mr. Ubiquitous, Dan Zippo and the Free Stater. It's Posadas and Hoystar fighting it out. They're a half a length on. Friday Creek starting to chime in, but it's Hoystar putting his head in front now from Posadas. Friday Creek is trying to get to him. Hoystar's in front. Snowden looking for 5. It's looking good at the moment. Hoystar is hanging on to the lead, and Hoystar makes it a big day for Peter Snowden. Holds off Friday Creek. Not sure third. We've got Danley out wide late and Thessio from Posadas, and then we've got in behind them next Mr. Ubiquitous from Anwar, Dan Zippo, Lantwin, and last in was the Free Stater.
The 2 best back runners, number 10 Hoystar, Danny Nicolic's got the verdict for Peter Snowden. What a great day for the stable. Has beaten number 6 Friday Creek, Hugh Bowman, and I think so far the run of the day, Dan Lee. Another 10 metres, and it might have got the bickies. Dan Lee, Jeff Lloyd for Chris Waller. This bloke's on target for the big races, including the Doncaster, of course, sponsored by
$5.32 the time. Your final dividends, he's paid $10, $4.20 the win, $1.80 the place.
Hey, that was Peter's 5th winner of the day in Hoystar by Dan Zero at a Professional. Friday Creek went well, and I thought Dan Lee turned in an eye-catcher coming from last. Jeff Lloyd for Chris Waller. Hoystar, Pete, was it the most important win because the managing owner's not Bob Ingham? It's a lady called Norma, Bob's wife?
Yes, just topped it out tremendously well, Richard. All the family were there, and...
Yeah, look, I went from his biggest fan to his harshest critic after he won first up, but look, he's proved me wrong, and his last run was a ripper, and he backed it up. He's come of age, this horse. That's his level, you know, Group 3.
He's behaving himself now, isn't he? I mean, he was starting to get...
want to fight and go against you. I thought it was a terrific performance. The second horse, race 2 fresh with no cover, Friday Creek. There was a couple of ripper runs here. Dan Lee, first run for Chris Waller, and the white hat coming through the middle here, coming off a slow speed, and the stayer, Thessio, the white hat on the inside in the Star Thoroughbred colours.
That was a good run, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, he's more of a staying type of horse. He campaigned...
And off the back of not a flash pace, so that's a really good run.
2 good runs there.
Hey, Ronnie, Doncaster.
Sires Produce Stakes, and it's a really good bunch of 2-year-olds going around here, enjoying a really good run in the Blue Diamond, and she's really well suited here at the moment on course. She's $3.70, Steve.
Yes, I think that's a case of the markets meeting Caroline. She opened up. See on the tote, you can double the price for Detroit Tiger, Aquileme, around 16 to 1, second page there. Well, there's your order, of course, for the top 8 in terms of what happens later on in the afternoon.
It is the first of the big Group 2s, with the Group 1s coming up later on Super Saturday. The Jayco Sires Produce Stakes over the...
Light on. They're racing. Detroit Tiger in strife at the start of the race. Ian's the Purple Flash and Doe and Minnesota Shark go back. Jewel Hemisphere fast away. Von Costa to Hero showing plenty of speed. Akalim's up there with a Arapaho Heights. A length away behind Flash and Doe, it's Jewel Hemisphere. You won't miss him with those big lime yellow colours as he turns the bend. Arapaho Heights 2 lengths away. On the fence, Akalim getting off the fence to go after his stablemate. Von Costa de Hero on the rail looking for a run. O'Kalar put under pressure and Berger coming with a run. Carnero comes around heels from Minnesota Shark. Here's Berger burning grass at the 200 metres mark. She's letting go with a great run. She's hit the lead. Von Costa de Hero's got the run. Von Costa de Hero after Berger and Carnero flashing from the back. It's Von Costa de Hero just in front in the shadows, and Von Costa de Hero, I think, has beaten Carnero and Berger in a three-way thriller. Minnesota Shark next from Akalim, O'Kalar's a Purple Flash and Doe, Jewel Hemisphere. Arapaho Heights well back the Tiger and Detroit Tiger at the tail.
A fantastic three-way go in the Sire's Produce. You can see on the inside is a Carnero, the winner of the Inglis Premier, but that is very, very tight on the line, Steve.
Certainly is, Caroline. We'll leave it to the judge. You'd probably lean Von Costa de Hero, and Von Costa de Hero, as we look at that, will get it. 6, 1 and 10. Von Costa de Hero, interim dividends on screen, $5.20. Von Costa de Hero, $2 the place, $2.40. Carnero, $1.50.
Way thriller.
Well, he cost $1.2 million in Costa de Lago out of a Sunline Conqueror in Piavonic. Carnero, a $30,000 horse who's got a terrific future. He was good. Berger coming off the Blue Diamond, but Craig Williams was told to ride arrogantly. Stable has a high opinion of the horse, Steve, and it's reflected in this performance.
Good effort. Did enjoy a good run in the race. Nonetheless, I think there's plenty of scope for improvement. Runner-up Carnero was excellent, arguably unlucky. The filly Berger was sound. Minnesota Shark was strong at the end, as he always is. And as we watch this vision, you might see a filly called Tsar Purple in the Jonathan Munns colours, the red and white stripes, just pushing through on the fence to run about 6th or 7th, and she was pretty good also.
Yeah, she goes for a spell.
In the CUNY Stakes, of course, a great fillies race over the years.
For the fillies at 1,600 metres, there's the totes on screen. Arapaho Miss, pretty similar on track, like what?
Haven't done much there. Zarita is $3.40 to $4. On the surface, it appears there's not much money for it. We took a bet of $30,000 or $4. They definitely have supported it at $4. Miss
Midnight Blues to move in and Flying Ruby to be the last for the CUNY. Musadora has been the best mover late in $3, just a bit better on the tape by a couple of dollars. Okay, Running Riot's out, they're off. They're racing now, and a little slower Arapaho Miss going back with Flying Ruby. Musadora sprung the lids and went running to the early lead. Zarita came out of the gate very quickly. Miss Marielle posted on the fence. Bashful Girl fourth from Midnight Blues. Catherine Gold. Ruby inside the 800. It's Musadora in front from the get-go, leading a length on Zarita. Stalking hard the outside from Miss Marielle and Catherine Gold always wide. A length away, Bashful Girl. Queen of Queens about to pull out. Absolute Glam will be the widest on the bend. Arapaho Miss pulled under pressure now to make a run from Flying Ruby. And last of all, Midnight Blues. Musadora's going sweetly at the 400 metres mark. Ripped away by 3 lengths on Zarita, trying to mow her down. Then further back on the fence, battling away is Miss Marielle from Bashful Girl. Absolute Glam coming now. Zarita moves up to Musadora. Absolute Glam trying to wear them down. Miss Marielle needs a run from Bashful Girl. Absolute Glam is pinning the air. She's going after Zarita. Zarita fights it hard, hangs on, tenacious. Zarita pulls away the last little bit, wins it by a half length. Second, Absolute Glam. Third, a photo. Bashful Girl, Arapaho Miss storming late from Queen of Queens. Miss Marielle and Musadora, then Flying Ruby. Midnight Blues and Catherine Gold last home.
She's pretty good. She's coming off the win in the Armanasco. She won the Wakeful in the spring, and now she's taken out the Group 2 CUNY Stakes. Zarita. Greg China. Pat Highland is with Bruce.
Pat Highland, you had some reservations before the race. I presume you had some reservations about the 600-metre mark as well.
It's a very good, tough filly, 195,000 a yearling by Pentire, beating Absolute Glam. You watch that replay again, Steve, and probably about 100 metres out, you see Absolute Glam changing stride, and it's not surprising that you find it afterwards that she's pulled up lame in the near foreleg.
That's interesting. I didn't realise that at the time, of course, and Zarita was very tough. Obviously, Absolute Glam was feeling it in the closing part of this race. As we watch the view from above, and Zarita very strong, and we'll just see Arapaho Miss, of course, and Queen of Queens coming into the picture late. they were both good, particularly the Oaks winner, Arapaho Miss, given that the pace wasn't that strong. 1, 2, 3, the first 1,000, zipped home in 34 and a tick. So the run of Arapaho Miss was terrific. Queen of Queens was okay, and obviously the first two were very...
Favourite 360, a call over.
Yeah, before this great sprint, the Newmarket Handicap, of course, some wonderful horses have won this race. Weekend Hustler, will he be the first 3-year-old in many, many years to carry this sort of a weight? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, yes, there's no more $70 odd for Coachinero. Over the page, Monet Rules 25 to 1, Misjudgment at 50 to 1 chance, 100 to 1 more. So you can have massive odds. Any fancy you like here, bar Weekend Hustler.
Exactly.
You don't think you can get beaten at all, do you?
I hope not.
Now, last time we spoke to you, you said put one house on and get two, so we've got two houses now. What do we do?
Well, if you're game, put them on.
Good luck, Ross.
Thank you.
I think you'll need it. Ross McDonald's. Caroline?
As much as even money early this week. We took a bet of 75,000 at evens early this week. This morning we took 80,000 worth of bets on Weekend Hustler, and they've just kept coming through now. So all the money's been for Weekend Hustler. I know it's drifted in the market $1.60 to $1.70, but that hasn't stopped them. They just think the horse is a superstar.
Yeah, Bart Cummings colours and Weekend Hustler. We'll have a look in just a minute. Right on start time, the Group 1 Newmarket Handicap is Terry.
Racing, Weekend Hustler fast away, and Rawilla puts on a right-hand turn straight to the outside fence with Dance Hero. A score fast away with Coachinero. Not far away is Monet Rules. Grand Jules going fast. Magnus back near the inside, the flat side. Sits Dance Hero at the 800 metres mark from Grand Jules. Magnus the red and white. Weekend Hustler's poised. He's behind those. They were followed next of all by A Score. Stands out back towards the flat side. In between runners, Monet Rules, then Misjudgment. Further back is Swick. He's back near the tail with Zipping and Shadow Ways. And a fair way off them, Coachinero. Dance Hero's out full of running at the 400. Weekend Hustler call for the supreme effort. It's his moment of truth. He's trying to come on. Magnus still there from Grand Jules. Rawilla's about to light the fuse on the Hustler. He goes out after the leader. Magnus stands out, comes through. Magnus in front. Weekend Hustler stride by stride pegs him back, and the Super 3-year-old takes the lead. Magnus comes again. Weekend Hustler in front, and it's a great win in the Newmarket Handicap. 3/4, and Rawilla loves it. Second prize Magnus, third Swick, I think. Zipping late on the scene, not far away, Grand Jules. A Score. Monet Rules, and then came Misjudgment, stands out. Shadow Ways well back. No Bonhoeffer today from Coachinero, and Dance Hero last in.
Another Group 1 for the superstar Weekend Hustler, Brad Rawilla. Ross McDonald says he's the best horse he's put a bridle on. He's certainly seen...
Harry, I mean, what is your thoughts on this horse?
Well, I think he's a superstar. But, you know, you just see what he's done today. Well, you know, you go back how many years for horses to do what he's done.
But you've thought that from a long time ago.
Yeah, well, he's always shown us, and Les and Brad have been confident in him, and, you know, Les coming in off him this morning, he said he'll rock the clock today.
Well, whatever time his run is fast enough.
Great duel between the two horses. Magnus not disgraced on the inside, but Weekend Hustler is something special.
That's a champion's performance, I think, Caroline. We saw them run 1-2 in the Oakley Plate. The inexperienced horse disadvantaged against Magnus by 2.5 kilos today. He's still too good for him. 7 wins today. He's still too good for him. 7 wins from 9 starts. Now 4 Group 1 victories in his past 5 starts. Wins at $1.70. The shortest price favourite since Burnborough in 1946, who ran at $1.45. The mighty Burnborough. Well, I think we've got the mighty Weekend Hustler, and if you backed him, look, you know, I'm not inclined to get carried away, but I think that's extraordinary. 56 kilos, take on the best of the older horses, beat them comprehensively, and Brad's well and truly outdone Craig Williams there with the quasi-Dettori star jump. Terrific performance.
It just doesn't get any better than this. To be on a horse like this is just unbelievable, and then, you know, he showed it. He showed it by now, that's for sure.
Well done, thanks.
Right. Thanks.
Last night, and I just said to Mark, you have a look at him. I said, I reckon he looks better this morning than he did yesterday.
He's pretty bomb-proof, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's a freak of a horse.
You can't help but think, is he a middle-distance horse or even a stayer who's won an Oakley Plate in the Newmarket?
Well, I really don't think on his pedigree, he shouldn't be doing what he's doing, and if he can stay and do that at the end of a staying race, he's going to be awful hard to beat.
What about
is off?
Quite amazing. We spoke to Greg Carpenter, Racing Victoria's chief handicapper, last night, Steve, and he's given us a rating of 122, which makes him Australia's equal highest rated horse with El Segundo, and of course it puts him 1 behind the world champion sprinter in Sacred Kingdom. So the measure's already there for him.
Oh, I'm not surprised by that. The 4 Group 1 wins now, of course, and they come in rapid succession, really, and the 2 performances to beat. older horses in the Oakley Plate and the Newmarket under handicap conditions. That's impressive stuff.
He's got this 9 starts, 7 wins. He cost $80,000. He's won $2 million now, and a lot more to come. He was good. Magnus was outstanding. He made him earn the big victory. Grand Jules career best by that horse yesterday. Steve, it was a fair Newmarket, right result?
Absolutely, it was fantastic. You touched on his rating now. Well, we can have a simple measure of his improvement. At least 2.5 kilos since the Oakley Plate. That was the disadvantage yesterday against Magnus. They settled down to fight it out. And Ross, I think that would have been pleasing too, that you see that you've...
And his only, well, not abject favour, favours on slow ground. Is there any kryptonite there?
No, I don't think so. He's won on slow ground at early doors. Probably in Emirates, he was probably over the top. First prep, he jumped out. He went to the barrier. If you've seen go to the barrier...
Good fun.
Well, I haven't seen any light fantastic paraphernalia yet, but I'm sure if he comes out and wins the Guineas shortly, he's amazingly short on the tote. It's $1.60 on the tote. Bookies are betting a bit better, $2.50, but gee, he's as popular as Weekend Hustler.
Problems from now, and as Bruce said, $2.50 now for Light Fantastic, and he's a clear-cut favourite. Playwright is...
Any negatives, he's sound, he hasn't had any dramas, you know, he's not being nursed into the race, he's just being trained in. Because it's now into $4.80. Light Fantastic to $4.80. Light Fantastic, they come for it, then they come for others, they come for it again. It's been $2.50 into $2.40, back out to $2.50, has had good support, and Largo Lad, $6.50 out to $8.50. But a great betting race out here.
Like a double, but I think we're about to see another spectacular event on Super Saturday here at Flemington.
And a wonderful bunch of Colts and Geldings lining up here. Unfortunately, a few of them are Geldings, but it has been a real stallion-making race too. Horses such as Flying Spurs, Abil coming through this race. Of course, last year, Miss Finland was the winner, beating the boys. Apache...
Racing in the Guineas, great start, Hard War, Playwright on the fence and marching fast out. Light Fantastic away quickly, and Turfontaine going looking for the leaders as well. Not too far away, Schilling, but he's wide, settling down. Hard War scoots to the lead from Turfontaine. Light Fantastic goes up beautifully to be third, marching. 3 away, Light Fantastic, and Ollie's right on his tail on marching. Schilling outside of him, Raffaello deep, Playwright the fence. Sound Journey about to come into the fray. 2 lengths away, Viatori, and Largo Lad is deep out. Fourth last from Kick and Chase, Latorio and Pillar of Hercules. Action about to come on to the bend. 600 metres to go. Hard War from Turfontaine, Light Fantastic there. Then came marching further out on the track, Raffaello, a length and a half, Schilling. Sound Journey tracks into it well. Viatori and Largo Lads in traffic as they turn the bend. Playwright likewise. Up the home running at the 400. Light Fantastic under his own steam. Move up to Turfontaine and Hard War. Trying to get a run marching. Playwright is coming through near the inside. And further back in the field, Sound Journey. Light Fantastic gun full bore now. Here on the outside, Sound Journey and Playwright on the fence with marching coming on. Light Fantastic digs for his life. Playwright drives, marching comes, Light Fantastic hangs on and wins it. Light Fantastic has won the Guineas. Photo second and third, Playwright all marching, Largo Loud and Sound Journey close up for fourth. Then came Viatori and Kick and Chase, Hard War. Turfontaine well back in the field, Pillar of Hercules. Then came Schilling, Raffaello, and last of all would have been Kick and Chase with Latorio. They all had their chance to beat him, but they haven't.
Another 3-year-old stands up under pressure. Light Fantastic, they all came at him. He was Tarbara. $2.30, $1.30, $1.80 for marching. Gallant in defeat, and $1.80 for Playwright. The rest of them there on your screens. First, third and fourth.
Because Miss Andretti last year, and you found another star this year.
Yeah, Bruce, I've been pretty blessed to have, in my short career in the saddle, to find 2 champions, and I think this horse is well on his way.
You rode a super confident race. You feel as though you were going to go under?
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned, probably 75 out. They were really starting to close on him, but just the tenacity of him is just unbelievable.
And a great Guineas, a superstar in Light Fantastic. 4 starts, 4 wins. Only a month ago was winning a maiden at Kyneton. Beats Marching, who was good player. Look, there's a lot of good 3-year-olds here. Largo Lad obviously had no luck at all for Brad Willer. It's a good story.
It was Weekend Hustle that was going cranky.
He went cranky with the filly, yeah.
What do you make of these 3-year-olds?
Well, you take your line through the Caulfield Guineas, and Marching finished, what, 4.5, 5 lengths behind us, and he's been beaten ahead yesterday, so...
But there's a lot of up factor with Light Fantastic, isn't there? It's only going to get better.
Oh, he's done a good job.
So Cox play...
you know, betting too early I don't think is a wise thing.
Would you fear a horse like Light Fantastic with natural improvement? No?
No.
Okay, well,
mine will improve.
When the next horse I'll get like him, but just absolutely outstanding horse.
You knew when he
went jockey on him, and he just did it.
Spell and then Cox Plate the aim?
Yes, yeah, for sure. I think Weekend Hustler should try and win another Newmarket.
Light Fantastic. That's a touch of irony here, Ross, is that Mick Price tried to nominate Light Fantastic for the Newmarket handicap, but because he was an unraced horse, he couldn't get in. He might have met you yesterday.
Yeah, it would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
Is there any marching? Well, along the lines. Well, Schilling pulled up with mild heat stress, and Brad, of course, victorious on Weekend Hustler. No luck on Largo Lad, saying he should have won. And the more we watch the replay, he's got a pretty good case, Steve.
I would agree with that. Interrupted runs, he just can't quicken off the spot. Largo Lad, he takes 100 metres to wind up. I think this is a good Guineas. It was something of a blanket finish. Sometimes that casts a doubt. I don't think it will. I think the first 7 are all well and truly above average 3-year-olds. You don't have to go back too far, only to 2006. Apache Cat, God's Own, Red Dazzler, couldn't run a place, they were unplaced. You look at some of the horses who couldn't win an Australian Guineas, Starcraft, Vo Road, Naturalism, Thorn Park. It's, in many respects, it's often a race that proves a better guide to their 4-year-old capacity than the Caulfield Guineas.
Well, what we can say,
3 out to $3.90, Steve.
Certainly looking forward to this, the final of our Group 1 races here at Flemington. There's your totes on screen, I can tell you. Miss Finland, $3.50 out to $5, and Princess Cope, $2.50 to $2.60.
I think we're about to hear the Nationals. Obviously going to be a delay for the Australian Cup here. Of course, the Group 1, the Darley Australian Cup over the 2,000 metres. Number 3, Sermione, is now just out to $3.90, and Princess Cope, as we said before the break, $2.60. Miss Finland out to $5.50.
Step into the mounting yard for the Australian Cup. We might have a look at Princess Cope. And
so betting ring number 3, Sermione, is $3.50 out to $3.90. Miss Finland, $3.50 out to $5.50. Princess Cooper's just had steady support. It's been $2.50 out to $2.60, but very, very steady support. Probably the best.
Sermione, a little nibble for him on track. He got to $3.90. There's the totes across the board, across the country. $3.80.
It's to the barn. Set for the Darley Australian Cup. They're off. Miss Finland jumped beautifully wide out on the track, and Williams very positive early on. She's running 5th. Fast out to Ranabar. Ruby Scent coalesce in the centre going forward. Captious wide. Phil Machino next. Miss Finland's 3 deep behind Captious with cover. Giro Valley in the centre. Princess Cape 2 lengths away. Sermione outside of her. And away then is Captious. Ruby Scent on the fence. Miss Finland, if she's to come back in a blaze of glory, she's going to do it the hard way. Giro Valley's got her posted out 3 wide. Phil Machino on the fence. Sermione's on the outside. Mertens has got Oliver in a pocket here on Princess Cape. And 2.5 lengths away, Casino Prince up before the bend. 800 metres left to run in the Cup. And the front runner to Ranabar by a length on Coalesce, who's come off the bet. On the rail, Ruby Sense had a glorious run from Captious. Then Phil Machino, Miss Finland tracking out wide from Giro Valley. Sermione's about to come to the outside. Ollie plays for luck on Princess Cope. And 2 lengths away, Casino Prince as they thunder for home at the 400. And Miss Finland wide out is going after Ruby Scent. Captures the centre. Sermione's coming with a great run on the outside. He's trying to weave the needle going through on Princess Cope. But Sermione let down, and Bart's Boy exploded away at the 250. He's looking for his 13th Australian Cup. Running to second, Casino Prince from Miss Finland. Look at Sermione go. Opens the shoulders up. He's roaring away. It's another one for Bart. And Sermione for Peter Mertens wins the Cup and wins it brilliantly. Princess Cope, no luck. She ran second from Casino Prince. A good margin away then to Giro Valley. Miss Finland, you a game. Phil Machino behind those from Ruby Scent Captures. A long gap coalescent to Ranabar.
Another great training performance by the master, Bart Cummings. Sermione, his 13th Australian Cup winner. And have a look at this horse just stretch out. Princess Cope.
Was that performance?
No. Well, it was surprising how well he won. I don't know. I think the others mightn't be quite as good as we thought, perhaps. I don't know.
So that performance did surprise you?
It did, yes. I thought he'd win by, you know, half a head or whatever, or half a length, but that was quite impressive.
Well, you won your first. How did he become associated with Sermione?
Well, he did what I told him, where some of the others hadn't done so, and the result's been marvellous.
And we'll see you back in the spring chasing another Melbourne Cup, perhaps with Sermio.
You look fit and well. Perhaps I will.
I hope so. Good on you, Bart. Well done.
40 years since Arctic Coast Go Bart. His first 10 years since Dane Ripper was his 12th, and now Sermione. And Peter Mertens, well done to Pete. Happy birthday, 46 during the week. Princess Cope, well, Oliver Road for luck, didn't get it. Casino Prince, an improved performance. But what you see is what you get there, Steve. The winner too good. OK, runner-up unlucky, arguably, or not. Would have beaten it?
No, not a hope in hell. She'd peeled it. Look, if she'd come to the outside, got on Sermione's back, the way he sprinted and let down, she was more grinding at the end of that race. She might have run into a length and a half. I don't think there's any hope in hell she would have picked him up.
You see Damien got stuck behind the tiring Tyrannobar there, and by that stage Sermione was off and gone. Brilliant performance, and I mean, even on your...
Had a little look at the screen and I saw it was well clear, so it was great.
When he let go, didn't he go?
He did. Like, he came off the bridle a little just before the home turn, but as soon as I got him on the outside of Miss Finland, he just sprouted wings. It was a real good feeling.
A lot better performance than...
Currently, Steve, I suppose he sits as Australia's best weight-for-age older horse, and we saw the two youngsters who were going to take them on in the spring.
Yeah, fair comment, I guess, in the absence of El Segundo, Pompey Ruler, Eremine, a couple of others. The ranks are a bit thin. He's certainly a very effective 2,000-metre horse at Flemington.
And obviously that's just him.
Positively 3 wide, just couldn't get in. Even when they quickened up, it looked like I was only going to slot in, it would be great. So I was caught 3 wide in a weight for age, which is just you don't really want to be. And but from the half-mile onwards, geez, I felt the old Miss Finland of old. She just pulled me into the straight. She had a torrid run, and she didn't hit a flat spot today, and she dragged me into the race. And I thought, here we go. And even though I had done a lot of work, kicked away into the straight, cleared everything that had been in front of me, but then her run was short-lived, and then she was swamped and ran into 5th.
Well, it comes to an end, but what a good horse she's been to you.
Yeah, I was just delighted. The feeling that she gave me today throughout the race, even though I was 3 deep, I couldn't really help her out much for the run I gave her, but she just really travelled positive today, and I was just hoping...
$1 million Winning Edge Presentations Classic, the Apollo Stakes. We're about to jump in about 7 minutes' time. Let's have a quick look at the odds, and we'll go through them and then get into the mounting yard.
Number 1 is Racing to Win, $5.90. About $1 shorter on course, just easing a touch and a quarter longer on course. Paratroopers, $2.60. That's spot on. Has a Honouring War at $17.60. You can add 10 points. Fillets at $42 is 20 points long.
Heavily backed here on track, 250, 230 on the tote. Just waiting on the last couple to move in. And Sniper's Bullet came out slowly. On the outside, Just Mambo came out humming and takes the lead from Paratroopers going forward as well. Not all that far away is Desert War, scooting up along the rail, followed by Fillets and Mentality in the first couple. Behind them next is Honour and War, followed by Racing to Win, settling back about 8th on the rail from the first bend now, and they've got 800 metres to go, and the favourite Paratroopers found the rail, and it's the leader. They back the speed off, and it leads by 3/4. Just Mambo second, Desert War on the inside, and Mentality's out wide and pulling hard. Fillets is going up in the centre, followed by Honour and War. Racing to Win is pinching runs near the inside, followed by Tuesday Joy, then Mr Martini. Fighting Funders further back from My Lady's Chamber. Sniper's Bullet is well back with Utzon as they turn. Paratroopers just in front. Just Mambo comes up on the outside to challenge. Right behind them Fillets. Desert War is struggling, and then came Mentality. Paratroopers is headed off by Just Mambo. Racing to Win is going after the stablemate, and then came Fillets, but it's Racing to Win. The grey bursting through in the centre. He went up to Just Mambo. Tuesday Joy runs on late from Fillets, but he's back in the winner's stall. Racing to Win beat Tuesday Joy. Fillets got third, and then either Fighting Fund or Just Mambo, followed by Honour in War, and then came Accumulate, Desert War, Mentality, followed by Sniper's Bullet, Mr Martini, Utzon. Further back behind them next High C, followed by My Lady's Chamber, and Paratroopers has run last of all. So there must be something amiss with the favourite. He's pulled up very quickly, and he's back.
All on us with the winner. He's a very good horse, still unbeaten second up, Racing to Win. A good performance. John O'Shea and the Connections have a lot to look forward to. Tuesday, George.
A little bit surprising, but I've got to say in the run, Rich, things look to be panning out our way. He flew the gates, he travelled beautifully, and Huey was able to get him off the fence and track a couple of the chances.
To be honest, I was $5.70 and $2.10, $3.90, $10 for the third place fillets. Inglis bringing us all that information here. Race number 7.
Fighting Fundo.
70 and $2.10, $3.90, $10 for the third place fillets. Inglis bringing us all that information here. Race number 7.
Fighting Fundo Justin.
Well, great to see him back in the winner's stall. 10 wins from 16 starts. He is a true star, racing to win back at his best. Tuesday Joy good, fillets good, paratroopers poor, post-race veterinary examination, poor recovery rate, respiratory distress, has to barrier trial and be scoped. And Jeff Lloyd, a suspension from Sniper's Bullet there, tops up a Canterbury suspension. He's out until March 25. But Mark Sheehan, good to see him back in the winner's stall.
Yeah, Bruce, he's got a lot of improvement. As I said at the top of the show, he's probably only about 70 to 75% fit as yet. He's only had that one run at Canterbury, and he showed good acceleration yesterday. He was given a lovely run by Hugh Bowman. He got out of the best part of the track, and of course this race had 7 Group 1 winners in it. Of course the task made a little bit easier by the failure of paratroopers, but as I said there, a lot of improvement still to go with this horse, and he sprinted away and won it well. Good run also from Fighter.
We've got the big one coming up in Adelaide, the Cup. The jockeys have been introduced now, and they're all getting ready. We're just 20 minutes away. Exalted Egos, 680, 890 Siflu, 620 Lacey Underall. Sutherlands have taken a half point off the opening show, and 590 is just about spot.
Ready to run. They're off. And beginning slowly, Tales of Triumph, and first away was Show Barry. On its inside, mustering speed was To a Fault. Sadler's Story over on the fence, and wider out was Kefaloo going forward. Exalted Ego just off the speed, followed by Istar Kareem. Rich Races fair end. Well, Kefaloo's running it along freely in front, ensuring a genuine pace in the Cup. He leads over the 1800 metre crossing by 4 lengths. Exalted Ego second, about 3 now, followed by Ready for More Dirt Music as they come by the 1,000 or past it now. Well back to Vicello as they bunch up, chasing this leader though. Then Lady Attire, followed by Lacey Underall, Fuji Fantasy and Gothic Marion. 700 metres to go. It's still Kefaloo. He's out by 6 lengths on Show Barry. Exalted Ego, Royal Player. Now the runs are coming. Esther Kareem going around its stablemate To a Fault. Then Road to Athens. Vicello's putting in a run on the outside. Further back in the field, Lacey Underall. She comes on out wide. Rich Racer was next. And then Tales of Triumph, Foolish Lad. Kefaloo's getting tired. Turning for home, 350 metres to go in the Cup. After him strongly now was Lacey Underall down the outside with Vicello. Then Istar Kareem. Sadler's Story back to the inside. It's still Kefaloo, but Lacey Underall, she's coming at him strongly now. Lacey Underall goes to the lead. Tales of Triumph runs on. Lacey Underall in front, and she'll make amends for last year's placing. Lacey Underall scored by a length and a half. Kefaloo was game, ran second, third, Tales of Triumph, Photo fourth, Foolish Lad, Exalted Ego, Vicello, or Road to Athens, followed in by number 7. She ran second last year. She's a genuine 2-miler. Dwayne Dunn, 6:10.
Race number 7. Well, Dwayne Dunn was out of luck on Eldana a little bit earlier on, but he nailed the ride this time around on Lacey Underall. Great staying performance at 750 and 260. Kefaloo.
Go. And the move has been for Vivacious Spirit over Royal Asher here.
And Spirit of betting, Joel. First it was Royal Asher 280 into 260. And then the Vivacious Spirit punters stepped in and said, are you guys done? $2.60 Vivacious Spirit into 230, and this has pushed Royal Asher out slightly again to 270, and now she comes back into 250. So,
well, I know a part of us are going to beat you. Oliver from an inside gate today. He's got a good record on Royal Asher. He'll be bursting to
racing and missing the start on the inside. Royal Asher by a length or so, and first away was Almost Cheval, showing Vivacious Spirit. She's camped on this leader and looks to be travelling beautifully. 2 behind her, El Guapo. The inside was Rough Chance, and then Diplomatic Force moving up 3 deep. It comes to the outside of runners, putting Dane Dina wider. Royal Asher still a long way back behind runners. Gets to the outside now, though. Then Mrs. Penny in front. Almost Cheval gobbled up, though, by Vivacious Spirit. Here's Diplomatic Force on the outside. Diplomatic Force goes to the lead. Rough Chance runs on. Royal Asher's coming down the outside. inside late. Diplomatic Force in front. Royal Asher trying hard with Vivacious Spirit, but he's a first up freak, this bloke. Diplomatic Force won by 3/4. Second in the race was Vivacious Spirit, and third over the line out wide there was Royal Asher, but she missed the start. Then Rough Chance might be
1963.90. Vivacious Spirit 130, same price for Royal Asher. Quinella 20
has got a nice horse. Here for the Group 2 Blamey Stakes. And there's 420 Molotov on course over Orange County and Cargo Cult, $5.50 each of two. Then out to Barlinnie at $21. And Efficient is $10, the Melbourne Cup winner. There's the market. Let's have a look. Efficient returns from winning the Melbourne Cup. That was 2 miles today. He's got a mile. It's the only run we're going to see him in the autumn shown. He looks...
He has a step up here today, but being on the speed won't be a problem, I wouldn't think. He was brilliant winning here the other day. Probably found the better part of the track, but he was very impressive. Racing. Pretty good line out. Flash Trick, the Fuzz fast away. Enenkov, Valedictum and Arbitration in the silver going forward. Barlinnie scorching across from the deep, and Laura's Charm likewise, and they're both thundering up to tackle for the lead. Barlinnie joins the Fuzz. Laura's Charm sliding across. Shills County travelling well from Count to Zero. Still Me. Molotov in trouble there. Ran up onto heels. Got his head up in the air. Well back on the fence. Cargo Cold and Efficient whip them in the Blamey as they turn. Inside the 600. Barlinnie with the big acid test for him today. Laura's Charm, the mare outside of him. The Fuzz needs a run. Arbitration's got him in a pocket. Arrow Sweep pulling out from Valedictum. Flash Trick on the rail. Then Enenkov and Orange County to the outside. Molotov buried back on the fence. And further back Efficient at the tail with a lot of work to do. Barlinnie kicked away. Down to the 200 led by 2 lengths. Laura's Charm trying hard. The Fuzz on the fence. Running on Orange County, but Barlinnie's got a full head of steam at the 100. He's in front of the Fuzz and Orange County. And Barlinnie's in front flying the Fuzz. He's getting close and he might have got up the Fuzz. I think the Fuzz in the last stride from Barlinnie, but it's a photo. Orange County third from Arbitration possibly. Flash Trick behind those. Then Count to Zero. Still Me. Valedictum. Cargo Cult. They were followed by Enenkov. Molotov. Never ever a chance from Efficient. Arrow Sweep and Laura's Charm.
Looks as though it's been hard work for the Fuzz, but I think he's going to nail Barlinnie in the last stride here to get never in the frame. Barlinnie did all the work up front, survived until the last stride, is it? We'll wait and get it confirmed. Here comes the photo now. It goes the Fuzz. The Fuzz will be the winner of the Blamey at $17. Number 4, the Fuzz, has nailed 13, Barlinnie.
Bloke who's joining the squad fast and having a lot of success for him. It's Vlad Jurek. They're starting to form a pretty good partnership. He, of course, picked up the ride on the Fuzz when...
Why not? It's been a good association. That phone call paid great dividends for... And the Fuzz did get up. T. Bailey, $17, Vlad Jurek. What a good association this has been. A modern association. Vlad Jurek with David Hayes. Barlinnie, best of the run-on horses. Anything which came from back in the field here had absolutely no hope. They ran the first 1,000. Well done, Luke, in 63.15. Home in 33.8. So anything that came from back, so you see horses like Efficient running 11.3 last furlongs, but they weren't in the game. Brilliant tactical ride in front.
Features of the day. This is the Silver Slipper Stakes for the 2-year-olds, 1,100 metres, and it is a Group 2 here, and some really good-looking 2-year-olds about to go around here. The favourite, not surprisingly, is number 6, Amelia's Dream, after a 9-length win at Canterbury, but a few of these are...
45, well, that's a very big go. She's playing well on the TABs. 160 New South Wales, 150 on Super Tab and Unitab. Now I can just tell you there's more money for her. She's now into 5 to 2 on. She's now into $1.40. So this is a big go. Mark's a big go. Mark Sheen, I thought she'd be favourite. Amelia's Dream. I never dreamt she'd be 5 to 2 on.
I thought my favourite jumped out brilliantly from the inside stall, Amelia's Dream, and raced away and led by a length and a half. Led from Hips Don't Lie and Dubai to Sydney. Glow Lamp is starting to pick up some ground along the rail. Delika's back behind them in 5th spot, fully into stride. Coming out of the chute, and the leader, Amelia's Dream, flies along in the lead by a length and a half on Hips Don't Lie, is pushed along to stay with it. Glow Lamp is railed up to 3rd. Dubai to Sydney is 4th, about 3 lengths to Delika. And then Rock Me Baby followed further afield by Wembley. Segaline, and back last of all is Star Ripper coming around the turn, and Amelia's Dream is going great guns down towards the 300 metres. Opened up about 3 or 4 lengths in front of Glow Lamp on the rail, and then came Hips Don't Lie, and further back behind them next is Dubai to Sydney, but this is one right out of the box. Look at this go, Amelia's Dream. It's about 4 weeks to the slipper, and she's the raging favourite now after a brilliant victory by about 6 or 7 lengths. Hips Don't Lie got second, Glow Lamp third. But Star Ripper coming around the turn, and Amelia's Dream is going great guns down towards the 300 metres. Opened up about 3 or 4 lengths in front of Glow Lamp on the rail, and then came Hips Don't Lie, and further back behind them next is Dubai to Sydney, but this is one right out of the box. Look at this go, Amelia's Dream. It's about 4 weeks to the slipper, and she's the raging favourite now after a brilliant victory by about 6 or 7 lengths. Hips Don't Lie got second, Glow Lamp third. Behind them, Dubai to Sydney, and then came Wembley, which has run a cracker of a race. Further back behind them next to Leak from Rock Me Baby, Segaline, and Star Ripper's Run tailed off.
Oh, that's a super golden slipper trial, isn't it? Number 6, Amelia's Dream for Nash Rawiller and Gay Waterhouse on the inside, finishing third.
She's the real deal. She come up 3 rungs on the ladder in the 2-year-olds. She came to a dry track. She was ridden extremely confident by Nash Rawiller. I can't wait to see the sectionals because she burnt along in front. You thought the others might. Amelia's Dream, Caroline, that is what you call an absolute shellacking.
Just a big winning margin there, as we said, around about 6 lengths. The Inglis Interims, Amelia's Dream, $1.60, $1.10, $1.80.
Waterhouse stable, but all the news was about Amelia's Dream.
And Amelia's Dream, who looked so sensational yesterday, winning the Silver Slipper Stakes, was ridden by Nash Rawiller. And Nash joins us this morning. Nash, well, good morning to you. That's not a good morning, is it, the morning after?
Morning, Bruce. No, I guess I woke up this morning sort of hoping the last 12 hours have been a bad dream, to be honest.
It was amazing that what transpired. We just looked in total admiration of this horse, Amelia's Dream, and you're aboard that horse, of course, and then Richie broke the news later in the afternoon that things were bright, and you had no concept of what was going on. Broke the news later in the afternoon that things were bright, and you had no concept of what was going on, did you?
No, not really. I mean, she felt so good. I mean, even coming back to scale, you'd think you'd get some sort of indication that something was amiss, and she was just so well on herself and felt terrific. So, you know.
But coming back, she felt fine. You
felt fine, yeah.
I think she could have started the shortest price slipper of all time.
Well, she was into $3.50 after. This is a month away from a golden slipper. She got a 5-2 favourite for a golden slipper.
TAB Sportsbet stopped the frame at 2.30, so she was into 2.30 there. She was 2.80 and $3 a couple of places. So, and if she'd drawn a barrier like 62.9 now, she seemed to like doing it in a hand canter. No one on track could remember ever a 2-year-old breaking 63 for 1100.
Behind them next is Dubai to Sydney, but this is one right out of the box. Look at this go, Amelia's Dream. It's about 4 weeks to the slipper, and she's the raging favourite now after a brilliant victory by about 6 or 7 lengths. Hips Don't Lie got second, Glow Lamp.
Well, she'd won by that bigger margin on heavy ground. She'd won by that margin yesterday on good ground. She'd run brilliant time. There it is, 62.9, 33.52 the last 600. Hips Don't Lie has been a Blue Diamond contender for David Hayes, was just left lamenting, and there's Nash. Just it's extraordinary to watch her, and then we know the aftermath. And I mean,
aware of any problem until
you might have thought you had a slip in the bag, but let me tell you, like I know Bruce spoke to David Hayes.
Has been a Blue Diamond contender for David Hayes, was just left.
You might have thought you had a slip in the bag, but let me tell you, like I know Bruce spoke to David Hayes in Melbourne. I spoke to now every other trainer in Sydney, and as you said, we're 5 weeks away. Most of them had conceded defeat.
David Hayes had said, he said, if Gay wants to swap, and he's got Rianne, the Blue Diamond winner, and All-American, who I think's the pick of them, he said, if Gay wants to swap, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
But that headline, she was the next big thing, and what we should have been reading this morning in the paper was big headlines. Amelia, instead we're reading about the demise and the sesamoid, so she won't race again as a 2-year-old.
Well, there's Richie, 260 for the Golden Slipper yesterday. After that win, got them Sebring for Gay at $5. You've got Sugar Babe for Friedman at $10. All-American Hayes, Rianne Hayes, $12. Kavanagh will even succeed, $15.
Well, it just shows year-olds.
For you,
the greatest performance of a 2-year-old I've seen since, I think you've got to go back to Manicato and Luskin Star. to find a performance so dominating, so freakish, that you just said, well, there's the slipper winner. All she's got to do is stay in one piece. And as soon as you said that, she wasn't in one piece by the end of the day. And it's a tragedy for the owners, for Gay Waterhouse, for Nash Rawiller, because they'd have all just thought, well, this is a slipper winner right here, right now. It's not going to happen.
No. Today, but the possibility from Gay Waterhouse is that the filly will have an operation that will have 2 screws inserted into that sesamoid. That will improve the quickness in how she recovers. But certainly Gay is some
time. He's plenty on the odds on. But
no 2-year-old has ever broken 1.3 for that course at Rose Hill. She ran 1.2.9. She did it on the bit the last 20 metres. She spaced them by 6 1/4 lengths. The rest of them just stayed in their positions. Basically, no one passed anyone. It's like a Formula 1 race. But she is an absolute freak. I haven't seen a win like this. I think you've got to go back to the Manicados and Luskin Stars to see a 2-year-old so dominant. Hips don't lie. Ran midfield in the Blue Diamond, but she wasn't that far behind the winner of the Blue Diamond. She was a mile behind. 6 1/4 lengths, Ronnie.
Formula 1 race, and Ferraris versus Toyotas here. This is just unbelievable. It's a tragic end, really.
It is.
It reminds me...
Well, it may not be the end.
Well, no, it's the end as far as a Golden Slipper campaign's concerned. I remember it happening, the same sort of thing happening to a filly a couple of years ago of John Hawkes, called Plagiarise.
Yes.
I remember the tragic end, the Unworldly.
Yes.
That was a different situation altogether. But when we lose a talent like that, especially over a carnival, it's a big loss for a carnival. She was a huge talking point there, and will continue to be so in the coming weeks, and that's very, very unfortunate.
You know, we've been a little sceptical about the 2-year-old form here in Melbourne, but David Hayes did say one other thing too. His colts are far superior to Hips Don't Lie.
No, you wouldn't think so, looking at them trial on Friday. Fair dinkum, they went like goats.
Just updating on this market here, Sebring,
There's the $1 million Tui's New Golden Rose for the 3-year-olds, and what a crack bunch of 3-year-olds we have here in this mounting out at the moment.
Track $91. Forensics, the slipper winner, $7.20, 2 points longer. Mimi LeBrock's the favourite, $3.70 the tote. That's skinny. She's at LeBrock is $5 into $4.60. Mimi LeBrock, $5 to $4.60. She's the favourite, 40 cents in front of El Cambio, and then it's a point out to King Dakar and a half point out to Triple Honour.
This is the Tilly's New Golden Rose, Group 2. $1 million up for grabs. Forensics comes up. Now Mimi LeBrock has read up in the... Stand by for an announcement. He won. Please take note. Number 11, Mimi LeBrock is out. Well, a sensation here with the favourite coming out. Racing in the Golden Rose. Grand Dancer came out slowly, and it's the grey Cent Percent, one of the best into stride, and there goes Triple Honour in the centre. He began fast and takes the lead from King Dakar. Cent Percent going back the third from Solo Flyer, Zazu and Vecchia Roma on the rail. Behind them next is second last, and last of all is Grand Dancer getting into stride, 900 to go. And the leader is Triple Honour, backing the speed off, now led by a half a length on King Dakar. He couldn't get in on Cent Percent. It's out facing the breeze, 3 wide, and Vecchia Roma, the filly, back on the inside. Between that pair is Solo Flyer. Then came Zazu and Road to Rock, followed by El Cambio's in the centre. He's a little bit awkwardly placed at the moment, 6 off the lead. And then came Turpentine. Forensics back on the fence from Apasu, and Grand Dancer is last of all, swinging the bend in the Golden Rose, and Triple Honour's full of running as they turn, got away from King Dakar. Vecchia Roma comes off the rail, followed by Cent Percent, and further back behind them is Solo Flyer. Triple Honour led with about 250 to go. Vecchia Roma's a length and a half away from King Dakar. Cent Percent and Forensics is starting to storm down the centre. Forensics, last year's Golden Slipper winner, back to the scene of the crime. She hits the lead, and Forensics takes it out. Won it. It's Snowden Cornella with El Cambio running second. Photo third, King Dakar or Triple Honour. And then came Vecchia Roma. Further back behind them, Cent Percent, Road to Rock, and then came Solo Flyer, Apasu, Grand Dancer, and last in was Zazu.
She won the Golden Slipper at 2. She's now come out and won the Golden Rose, the Tui's new Golden Rose at 3. Forensics backing up after winning the Light Fingers first up. She's back in sensational form. Didn't come up in...
Very close for Tui's Golden Rose.
Oh, it's fantastic, Richard. I'm very, very proud.
They went along at a good clip, but what were you thinking?
And I thought, oh, gee, you're in a bit of strife here in the corner. I looked back at her and she was just on a loose range, just smoking. I said, Christ, if she gets out here for a chance, but... fantastic.
It's a team effort, Pete. 2 weeks ago you spoke about your son Paul. He sent him back up to Sydney in great order.
Fantastic.
Well done, mate. There he is, Peter Snowden, an emotional Peter Snowden, the Quinella.
It was Rich. She actually got there a little bit early, believe it or not. I got a pretty good run from an awkward barrier. Sort of stopped her straight away from the start, went across to the rail and just kept getting the inside runs. And she doesn't work at all. She relaxes quite well. And I got onto the stablemates back coming to the turn, and you know, I was really confident then because there was not a lot between them in their work on Tuesday morning, and when the barriers came out I was a little bit disappointed, but terrific filly, great win.
It's good to Peter Snowden and the team at Woodlands, 1-2 there in Forensics. Golden Slipper winners have got a poor record of going on. Not this filly. Outstanding performance by the Flying Spur. Prove It filly, who comes back as a 3-year-old and is unbeaten there. Al Cambio, good running second. Of course, Richard, the story pre-race was Mimi LeBrock, who lunged forward and she had some wounds to her nose and mouth, but take nothing away from this performance.
No, she was heavily backed too, Mimi LeBrock. It was a good ride, Danny Nicolette. They ran along at an even clip, and then coming to the turn, Jade Ford kind of just slipped a length and a half on Triple Honour. And look, it was a good performance. Nash's ride, King Dakar, he just looks like a big slug. He just keeps going to echo those thoughts. I think we've got an unbelievable bunch of 3-year-olds, fillies and colts in Victoria and in Sydney. I think we're blessed at the moment.
Have a call there, Mark Sheen, wasn't it?
Back to the scene of the crime. Old CSI Forensics go there, but...
yeah.
I was. When I was able to offset the awkward barrier pretty early in the race and sort of get in front of a couple and ride the fence, I kept getting the runs, and it worked out really well. And when I was able to get onto the stablemate's back, I knew I was going to be very hard to beat.
When did you know you were riding it?
Yeah.
Look, you've got to give it to Peter Snowden. He's broke the hoodoo of the Golden Slipper winner. Look, she's come out and won the Golden Slipper. She had a flat prep, and then she's come back and won the Golden Rose.
And I know I've said it before, but all the Warwick Farm trainers are doing it tough at the moment because, you know, Warwick Farm's being rebuilt for World Youth Day to accommodate the Ranvet trainers, and they're carting a lot for wonderful effort from all the trainers out there, and Peter is just flying the flag.
Yeah, and we forget, you know, she's only had 10 starts and she's won 5 of them. We all thought, oh, she's finished, but she's back, and she's back big time, and left the rivals no excuse there. There's no doubt about it.
Have another big feature win.
The handicapping, and some suggestion that Weekend Hustler might get 57.5 kilos in the Doncaster.
I said during the week, Bruce, and look, I'm not Ross or Clint McDonald spokesman, but all I said is that a lot of the Sydney media and a lot of us up here want to say the Melbourne Spring, it was a closed house. Well, that's fair enough, but then don't handicap him on if he's beaten everyone in Australia. You can't have your cake and eat it.
Well, he's going to be handicapped on the fact that he is now Australia's equal highest rated horse. So
I think 56.5 it'd be a great rating, but they're tipping he's only at 57.5, and that'd be a big ask. But
Bloody racing on all day, and this is one of the feature races we've been waiting around about a year, I'd say, for this one. Richie, these fillies against each other, Camarilla, Mimi LeBrock, also Sliding Cube, and Occurrence, the new player. She is the favourite here for Bart Cummings.
Yeah, this could be a welcome back to Australia for the Dazzler. He's on the Group 2.
Touch, the favourite will still be Occurrence, going for 5 in a row for Bart Cummings. $2.90 she is now. There is
Sliding Cube. Now they're moving in here at Ranwick. And Tentet Delago is coming forward. Starry Light missed the start, so did Silk and Appeal. They're out the back, and Sliding Cube, the market mover, went through to hit the lead from Tantat Delago. Anna Beck's up a lot closer today with Chinchilla Rose, followed by Mimi LeBrock pressing forward from that wide alley. He's trying to slot in, but he's 3 wide at the moment. And then came Occurrences going up underneath it and keeping it out there, followed by Camarilla to third now. And then came Chinchilla Rose. Occurrences now trying to latch onto the back of Mimi LeBrock. Camarilla's back on the inside from Vecchia Roma, Starry Light, and last of all is Silk and Appeal. They're inside the 600, and Sliding Cube held together by Shin is the leader by 3/4 on Tantat Delago. Then came Anna Beck back on the inside from Mimi LeBrock. Chinchilla Rose next to Current, starting to edge up around the outside, and further back was Camarilla, but he releases the Blakes on Sliding Cube up the rise, led by a length and a half. Mimi LeBrock's chasing it, and now Occurrences joining in on the outside from Tantat Delago. Chinchilla Rose getting a rails run, but here comes Beedman on Occurrence, bringing the the filly up there at the lead. Chinchilla Rose is a danger along the rail. Chinchilla Rose has taken the shortcut, hit the lead, and Chinchilla Rose has beaten the Currents. Third, it's a photo between Sliding Cube and Mimi LeBrock, and then Camarilla doing its best work late on Eyecatcher, followed by Vecchia Roma, and then Silken Appeal, followed by Starry Light, and last in was Anna Beck.
Bit of a boil over there, Chinchilla Rose. She was backed in a couple of points here on course, and she is the winner of the Group 2 Surround Stakes. These fillies, a quality field of fillies, a Currents. She looked to have the race won when she ran on.
Chinchilla Rose gets the bickies. We go to a break on TV and don't go anywhere the other side of the break. We're heading back to court.
The Sweet Embrace, and I've got to say, Mark, after that, she really hasn't had a great deal of luck, Chinchilla Rose.
Well, she was in the worst part of the track at Eagle Farm 2 runs ago, but I thought she was a touch disappointing last week at Durban, I've got to say. She was in the right spot and Dirty came over the top of it, but obviously she likes Ranvet and a bit of sting out of the ground because she won, the Sweet Embrace there as well.
Let me just tell you, the punters who backed it from the run yesterday, but by far and away, I think the horse... look, Mimi LeBrock went great. Occurrence went good. Sliding Cube was disappointing, but what about Camarilla? Honestly, Camarilla looked, again, as big as Brendan Cormick and I together. It looked big, didn't she?
Oh, she looked big, sweating, you know... he'll have a job to get her fit for the Oaks.
Honestly, Joe, you think she was in fault?
Why was everyone wanting to leave in Charlton, Melbourne?
And that was second up at Doomben too, so I suppose, you know, you think that... But she didn't finish the race off at Doomben, and I know it's only second up 13.50, and I must admit I got a bit surprised how strong she was at the end of 1400.
Well, being held up, Al, probably helped to know that no end here, because she really did finish it off.
And the back up. She did back up quickly from the week before. Let the others know.
Chinchilla Rose will go, come back to Brisbane now, have a couple of weeks spell up at Turner's property at Alma Vale, hedge towards the main aim, the Brisbane Winter Carnival, and that Group 1 Fillies and Mares Winter Stakes. Currents and Mimi LeBrock, Bart coming
particularly good. She had it tough, faced the breeze, and
nothing wrong with Camarilla down the outside.
No, that was another good run.
She's
as
not
well.
ready yet.
It was that the track did play pretty well right across the track. You know, things that did come down the outside won, and things won up along the fence on the day.
For the Group 1 Galaxy, the Inglis Galaxy, $2.80 already. He's been backed into $2.50, Rich.
Very well backed, doesn't it, Magnus? Very well back. Let's go through them from the top. Number 1, Gently Bentley. Choice, $8.90, on track $7.50, so $1.40 of value. Fritz's Princess, $10 is spot on the bottom one.
$2.40 on the tote now for Magnus. We are a minute away from the Inglis Galaxy. Market mover, though, is going to be Fritz's Princess, number 12. $11 into $7.50 for Fritz's Princess.
Feature sprint. Racing in the Galaxy. Black Ink and Strong Choice hesitated from the inside. Fritz's Princess is going well back, and Keen Commander came out of the stalls running, and he's the leader from Typhoon Z, and the filly Gamble Me's going up on the outside to make a line of 3. Behind them is King Rex, followed by Hurry Choice, who slots into a nice spot, and then came Sequellin going up in the centre, followed by Sentry Serb. Magnus is back midfield, and he's cluttered up between horses at the moment, followed by Strong Choice, Fritz's Princess. Bentley Biscuit is well back, and so too is Black Ink as they come up towards the bend. They've got 500 to 1 in the Group 1 Galaxy, and the leader Keen Commander from Gamble Me. Typhoon Z, Sequellin, King Rex going up on the rail from Sentry Serb. Hurry Choice looking for a run. Magnus is starting to improve now, looking for a gap in the middle of the track, and then came Fritz's Princess, but it's Typhoon Z. He sprinted up and took the lead now from Keen Commander and Gamble Me. Fritz's Princess is starting to fly with Magnus. Typhoon Z and Keen Commander fight it out from Fritz's Princess, who's coming. Typhoon Z's in front as they hit the line, and Typhoon Z, I think, won it in a photo. Typhoon Z from Keen Commander and Fritz's Princess, and then we've got Magnus, King Rex and Strong Choice, followed by Hurry Choice, and then Gamble Me from Black Ink, Sequellin and Sentry Serb last in, and Bentley Biscuit has bled. Bentley Biscuit has bled, and he's been pulled up just short of the line.
Let's see the actual photo about to come up on your screen now, and that will decide the winner. It is Typhoon Z, the winner of the Group 1 Inglis Galaxy.
Yeah, Typhoon.
You just coming up half head by a long head in the end. Richie, we'll go back down to you.
Yeah, very happy.
Yeah, terrific fin away, Tim. So that's been a great training performance by Tim Martin to get him to fight on like that the last 100.
Yeah, he is a bit broken-winded, and probably 1100s as far as he wants.
In late. You think the outsiders, Fritz's Princess, she was coming quickly. I thought she might have had you about here.
No, I didn't actually see the outside horses come. I was all the only one I was worried about was Keen Commander kicking back, actually.
Did he come back and head you again, do you think, or not?
I don't think he got in front of me again, nah.
Now listen, I saw you.
You know, put that
Newmarket, taking nothing away from Weekend Hustler, who is an out-and-out star. There's not a great deal of depth there, is there, Mark?
No, well, you look at that field and you say, well, they're not just, you know, horses you're going to think about in 10 years' time as being outstanding sprinters. You look back at the winners over the years, and Typhoon Z doesn't jump out.
It was a clump finish.
If I back Typhoon Z,
The race, a bunch.
No,
they say
Future. I'm a little worried about the race. A bunched finish. I'd suggest not one of the best Galaxies we've ever had.
I guess with yesterday in Sydney.
And that's earning the ride yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
I tend to agree with you. I don't think the Galaxy is what it used to be, because there's so many good sprints around it now. So it's hard to maintain the Galaxy at the level that it used to be. But it is still, you know, a Group 1 race, and
yeah, it's sad out the back there, Bentley Biscuit. He was such a great horse.
Yeah.
And to do what he's done is sad to see him go out like that.
Yeah, I mean, you would have liked him to at least get around safely. I mean, he would have had the automatic 3 months off with the bleeding ban anyway, but he won't race again. News out of the race type.
Royal Randwick, the second of the Group 1's about to be run. It is the Bisley Workwear Chipping Norton Stakes over the famous Randwick Mile. Of course, no racing to win going round, but still a race. $80. Well, she got out to $3, in fact. As I'm looking, she's now back into $2.70.
Yeah, the money's come for Tuesday Joy, hasn't it, in the Gay Waterhouse Stable? $8, $1.50 longer. It's at $9.50 on track. Arlington, $19 a total.
50 Guillotine. Number 5 Casino Prince, though, is the market mover. $10 into $7. And
Mystique is about to come forward. $3.10 for Tuesday Joy. Sniper's Bullet at $4.90. Racing now. Tuesday Joy hesitated, missed the start slightly, and it's the Queenslander Daunting Lad breaking quickly. There goes Desert War starting to improve on the outside. Our Mystique's not all that far away, and Sniper's Bullet's jumped out well today, and he's going forward to be in the first 3 or 4. A couple of lengths to go. Runs clear by about 2 lengths on Sniper's Bullet on the outside of Daunting Lad. 2 lengths to Our Mystique, and Arlington Guillotine still off the track. He's got Casino Prince in a pocket on his inside from Our Smoke and Joe. Tuesday Joy's been shuffled back. She's in an awkward spot as well. And Honour and War's last of all. He gives the old warrior Desert War more rain at the 600. He sneaks away by 2 on Sniper's Bullet coming up behind him. Daunting Lad was next, and then came Our Mystique, followed by Arlington, and then came Casino Prince. Guillotine's under the whip, and Tuesday Joy. Oh, Honour and War nearly fell at the back of the field there. It's Desert War in front as they come to the 300. Sniper's Bullet is coming after him from Casino Prince, and now Tuesday Joy. Rowella gets the mare to the outside, and she's starting to put in the big bounds now. It's Casino Prince coming up to challenge for the lead. Tuesday Joy on the outside, and Sniper's Bullet. Casino Prince stuck his head in front, and Casino Prince grips a Group 1 glory. Casino Prince from either Tuesday Joy or Sniper's Bullet. And then came Our Smoke and Joe, followed by Desert War. Then came Arlington and Our Mystique, followed by Guillotine, Daunting Lad, and Honour and War nearly fell at the top of the straight and finished last of all.
A few hard luck stories there, but not so. Casino Prince, the Group 1 winner here for Patnack Farm, and also Nathan Tinkler. Anthony Cummings preparing this Group 1 winner. Of course, he is a stallion by Flying Spur, another Group 1 for the champion Australian stallion from Arrowfield in Flying Spur. Casino, the big Group 1 here today as well. 7.10, 2.40, the English interims after the Bisley Workwear Chipping Norton Stakes. $1.50.
Yeah, terrific performance by Casino Prince, coming back from the Australian Cup where he was unsuited, in my opinion, at 2,000 metres. Tuesday Joy without any luck whatsoever, and Sniper's Bullet again running a terrific race. Out of the race, Richard, Casino Prince just got the perfect run in the event. Tuesday Joy, on the other hand, just no luck.
Yeah, look, I think there's a few hard luck stories. Look, Sniper's Bullet had to do a little bit of extra work from the outside gate. He's on target for the Doncaster. Casino Prince got all the favours, but look, there's been plenty of races that Casino Prince hasn't had the favours. He probably deserved one, or who I think was obviously the most unlucky runner. He almost hit the deck. Nasher Willis copped 7 suspensions since August last year. Here's the interference right there. You'll see, Tuesday Joy pushed Honour and War out, and Honour and War clipped the heels of Guillotine. My opinion.
Result for Nathan Tinkler, who's poured all this money into this industry over the past 6 months. So he's got a quick result with a Group 1 victory here with Casino Prince. This horse had already... You could make a case to say that the mare was unlucky, Tuesday Joy. Look, she just had trouble getting out and had to barge out there, and Rowella gets suspended for that incident when when Honour and War clips the heels. You know, and a couple of other good runs in the race, Sniper's Bullet and Smokin' Joe. Did anyone see old Smokin' Joe there? I don't know what his mission will be.
Looking towards the BMW, and who knows, I mean, Richard...
This prep, I think it's always...
On a $16 is spot on. Devil Moon, $27. It's $13 on track, so that's a bit of value. Malcolm's $8 is spot on the mark. We go down to number 9, Dan Lee. $6.90 is spot on the mark. Friday Creek, $5. You can add a half point. It's favourite at $5.50. Bobadar at $10. It's only $6.50 on track.
$7 into $6.50. A Bobadar $7. But the major move.
Good support. He's come up with a much better alley today. He's a horse who can tend to over race, and he does also have a bit of a short sprint. So that inside alley should be able to get him smothered away. Racing now. And jumping out slowly, Divine Madonna. She's gone straight back to the tail, and Court Command came out running. And it's the leader from Hoystar pressing on from that wide gate. Lantwin's going with it, and so too is Mutawajed. Followed by Devil Moon. German Chocolate not all that far away, and Friday Creek is sliding up along the rail. Behind them, Utzon, followed by Sonic Quest. And then came Dan Lee. And then further metres to go, and Court Command's the leader. Led on the outside of Mutawajed, and Lantwin is up running third. Behind them, Friday Creek. He's fourth on the inside. And then came Devil Moon and Hoystar. German Chocolate midfield from Utzon and Malcolm. Dan Lee was next from Sonic Quest. Bobadar giving away a big start. And then came Mr. Ubiquitous, and back last of all, Divine Madonna. It's Court Command just in front of Mutawajid on its inside, and Friday Creek is coming up on the outside. Friday Creek is letting loose to go up and hit the lead now. And then came further afield is German Chocolate and Hoystar. Bobadar's running on. Friday Creek led with 200 metres to go. Mutawajid next. German Chocolate, and Dan Lee starting to charge. Dan Lee's coming after Friday Creek. Friday Creek stopping. Dan Lee nailed him, and Dan Lee got up and won it. Beat Friday Creek and Bobadar. And then we've got Mr. Ubiquitous flashing home, followed by German Chocolate, and then came Mutawajid, Hoystar, Court Command. Back behind them next, Sonic Quest and Devil Moon, Divine Madonna, Malcolm, Utzon, and last in was Lantwin.
Welcome back, Darren Beedman from Hong Kong. Getting up here, the Group 3 on Dan Lee, the Liverpool City Cup. 9, 10 and 11 the numbers. Friday Creek getting second.
The beaten brigades. Hugh Bowman rode Friday Creek, an absolute treat. Bobadar got back where he would. He hit the line extendingly, but it was Dan Lee. He just looked like he was struggling for a couple of bounds.
Race through the carnival as he can get away from Hong Kong. There are the English interims for you. $6.90 and $2.40. $1.80 for Friday Creek and $2.20 for Bobadar.
Big time the whole way. Did he get there just a little early?
Yeah, he's only got a short sprint, and I just think he was left in front a little bit too far from home. The leaders sort of collapsed in front of him, and he was left there in front. And I think I knew I think the jockey knew from the 100 he was in trouble, because he started to really feel for the stick. What a run, Bobadar. It should have won,
unbelievable.
Honestly. He got no luck at all, and he's a very honest horse. Look at the head on here of Divine Madonna up the straight. She is dead set skew whiff in Sydney. Watch her hanging out. It's a miracle she's won a race in Sydney.
Can I just tell you the thing about Divine Madonna? Now, I was looking at all the runs in Sydney previously, and we'd interviewed Mark on TV in a couple of years. She kept running skew whiff, and then, you know what he said on TV? And he said, wait till D-Day, she'll be right. And then at Rose Hill, Boss Raider, she went as straight as a gun barrel. I wonder just if he changes some part of the gear come A-grade. Her run was super. Dan Lee's run was super. I don't know if Bobadar...
Yeah, to hit that knockout punch, but he's just a rejuvenated horse now, and he has to be a real contender for the Doncaster.
Well, he still won that good race last year, the South Pacific Classic. He beat, what was the good horse, Reigning to Win? He beat him in that. He's always shown glimpses of being a good horse, but I think...
Great rider, but I thought Friday Creek had it won. I thought it was all over come the furlong. Couldn't believe that Dan Lee could pick him up.
What about that horse finishing third?
Bobadar down the outside, and Mr. Ubiquitous up the fence here ran a terrific race for an old stager. But take nothing away from the winner. He's second up for the new stable here. He's probably well weighted into a Doncaster, and who's to say he hasn't got a lightweight chance? He's come back really well. He should have nearly won first up, and...
For racing continuing on Monday, of course, it's all about the Magic Millions Carnival swinging into action. We've got the 2-year-old. This is a terrific 2-year-old race this year, Mark. You've got winning form coming from different angles, horses drawn wide, go forward, get back, run on, needing luck. Terrific little event this year.
Yeah, that's a very good...
2-year-old, and of course with the scratchings here, it's Absolute Glam, who had no luck last time out. She's racing in great form, and she looks the perfect sort of horse for the Gold Coast. She can sit there and sprint.
Can't win.
Larry, let's start it with Geelong moving in.
Okay, mate, 14.
I was told it was about 2 days after we had the 5 go with that and do the best I can with the next owner.
I guess the main thing is everything stays as is. You just keep going and attempting to...
They're set and they're racing now. Absolute Glam to the inside, one of the first to go. Cent Percent began brilliantly. Windshear's going fast with Lady Showheart, Quarter Water, Malambo, and they're flying through the first 200. On settling down, Lady Showheart is just the leader. Quarter Ward goes to second. Cent Percent's going to settle third. Malambo fifth, but a bit deep, going up to the top corner. They're followed then by Carry On Doctor. Absolute Glam almost fell. Testosterone's about midfield, going around them, followed by Conquering Spirit, Heart of the City. Further back in the field, Lady Showheart, 1.5 clear. In second spot as they came down the side, Quarter Ward, followed by Malambo, wide. Windshear next from Cent Percent. Testosterone going around them from Carry On Doctor. Absolute Glam, which nearly bit the dust, is trying to get going again, and then comes Conquering Spirit as they corner into the straight on Quarter Ward. Lady Showheart led. Malambo on the outside. Absolute Glam going for the run on the fence with Windshear. Heart of the City came at them. Cent Percent, and here comes Kazoo down the middle of the track. Heart of the City went up on the outside with Windshear, and they took the lead from Kazoo and Absolute Glam, but Heart of the City grabbed the lead as racing away. Heart of the City beat Windshear. Absolute Glam, I think, third in front of Cent Percent from Quarter Wood. Kazoo weakened, and then Pepperwood and My Man Murphy. Heart of the City, Brad Pengelly and Pat Duff here. $9.60 and $3.20. Ridden off the speed today, ridden back off a fast pace, has come with a...
Zara in the saddle, opened up very...
Heart of the City is to the Magic Millions here at the Gold Coast, the 2-year-old classic on a beautiful sunny afternoon. It's only 10 minutes away. And the South Australian visitor, Augusta Proud. Look at all these unbeaten horses. Augusta Proud, She's Meena from the Gay Waterhouse stable. Black Minx has never tasted defeat. High Rollin' Woman's never gone down. Sugar Babe has, of course, has tasted defeat. Thought Awkward Alley there. AU runners are at the gates. There might be a slight hold up with the feature today.
The on-track favourite now, looking at it here, is She's Meena, with a little bit of support and value the tote at the moment at $5.50, particularly on...
And they're racing in the millions. Augusta Proud began fairly well, but got beaten by Magnificent Dancer, and She's Meena began brilliantly. Sugar Babe will go back to last. On settling down, Magnificent Dancer joined by She's Meena. Racing third, Whisper Bay. High Rollin' Woman pinged out fourth on the outside. Black Minx is fifth. Augusta Proud is sixth on the rails. Acorn is going to settle about midfield from Coniston, Bluebird, Feisty Manor, Saratoga. Further back is Jazz Hard. CU's out deep on the track, and then a Status Pandemonia, followed by Seesawing, and Sugar Babe is last. At the 500, approaching the turn, Magnificent Dancer is a half length in front of She's Meena. Two to High Rollin' Woman, followed by Whisper Bay. Black Minx is next. Augusta Proud's on the fence, and then further back came Feisty Manor and Acorns to the outside. She's Meena shot to the front of the top of the straight. Whisper Bay went to second. High Rollin' Woman's called upon. Augusta Proud and Black Minx down the outside, but She's Meena's clear, out by 2. Augusta Proud second. High Rollin' Woman battling away. She's Meena the leader. Augusta Proud's flying. Augusta Proud getting up on the inside of She's Meena. Augusta Proud maybe. Maybe Augusta Proud, and no, She's Meena on the line. It's a cliffhanger. Third's a photo. High Rollin' Woman's in that photo. So too Black Minx. Jazz Heart's prominent. Sugar Babe got home well. Then Acorns, followed by CU, Feisty Manor, Status, Coniston, Bluebird, Whisper.
It's a photo finish, but I think the South Australian might have won. Augusta Proud, the unbeaten filly from South Australia. Has she got a nose down in time? There's not much in it, but she may have got She's Meena. She's come with it.
Here, Matt, 8, 9 and 12. Augusta Proud, Leon McDonald, well done.
You bloody beauty, Andrew.
Well, mate, you came off the pace. She's Meena looked home. Get the owners in here. They come. Yeah, get in here. Did you think you were going to reel in She's Meena at the 200?
I didn't actually. It crossed my mind that, because I eventually, at the top of the straight, I tried to come out and shift Jim Byrne, and that, I had to come back. I couldn't move him. But to her credit, when I gave her a little bit of daylight on the inside, she really flew.
If she put
ranks off them.
With the winner there, there's been a change. Tuesday, Leon McDonald came out and said the horse pulled up a bit, jarred the winner, Augusta Proud. She's been travelled back to Sydney and she's sort of recovering pretty quickly. They're now going to leave her.
Sydney?
She's in Sydney. She's at Kevin Moses. She's going to be staying there. Leon will go up in this week. They don't have to pay the late entry until the Monday before the slipper, so they've got a few days. So
and this race heads, of course, towards the SA Oaks. The Feltex. And this race heads, of course, towards the SA Oaks. The Feltex Carpet South Australian Oaks over 2,500 metres on Super Saturday. And
Morpheville, Zarita, the favourite, $2.10. Eldana, $4.60. Here's Hilton Donaldson for the call.
Terrific racing. Off they go in the Schweppes Oaks. Not a bad sort of a start. Zodiac Queen is showing out, looking for the lead. Coming over from out wide, Akamar going up to interview it for that spot. And now Bashful Girl is making ground, and Zarita's going to be fourth early in the middle. On the inside, Queen of Queens. Truly Beautiful Court Wide improves around the outside there of Eldana. Outside of it, settling down with three deep. Truly Beautiful. In fact, this leader's rolled off the fence, so Akamar drove up on the inside. Fourth is Bashful Girl from Zarita. Queen of Queens tracking on the fence from Little Alley. Eldana the middle. Then Range Raja, Flute of Bubbly. Moment in Time. Starting a run, Miss Marin gives them about 10 by the 600 metres though. Followed by Phoebe from Bird of Fire. Gratis taking off, and Vachelle last. They bunch up on the turn. 400 metres to go in the Schweppes Oaks. And it's Zodiac Queen. Bashful Girl coming up on her inside. Zarita goes to them strongly. Deep out on the track. Here comes Eldana putting in a run. So too Miss Marin at the 200 metre mark, and Zarita hit the lead. Moment in Time is running on well behind it. Then Eldana struggling to pick them up, and further back Queen of Queens. It's Zarita. Moment in Time is coming after her. Zarita, Moment in Time. Zarita held on and won the Schweppes Oaks. Zarita ahead. Moment in Time second. Two away third. Queen of Queens from Eldana. Then Miss Marin followed in by Bashful Girl. Then came Bird of Fire, followed home by amongst the tail enders, and Akamar's been pulled up soon over the line.
Smart fillies, Zarita backing up the Angus Armanasco, the CUNY. She's now taken out the Group 1 Australasian Oaks. 145 the number.
Goes home to win it, Zarita. She's got a real kick about her, Mark, when she's challenged. She loves a bit of a fight. Wasn't dominant, wasn't super impressive, but she gets the job done.
Well, she's another one who's got, for a stayer, she's got early speed. She can put herself third or fourth.
But she hits that flat spot again. 600 metres to go, he's upper.
Look, they sprint away from her again, and then on the line she's strong. When she won the Wakeful, she was like that, exactly. Now, what about her backing up in the Oaks last year? She failed their 2400. What do you think about that, Terry?
Yeah, I didn't think she had a great deal of luck last year. I think she's still a little bit vulnerable, but I think a lack of opposition. Eldana's out of the play. For my money, Eldana's a 1,600 metre horse. I don't think she can stay. She couldn't stay in the spring.
While we can, let's get over to Byron Kozomanis at Morphettville.
Cozzy, it's a tough race. Can Zipanese feature?
Well, I'm just hoping she can get into the placings with a bit of luck, you know.
I suppose sometimes Group 1's, you know, weight-wise, set weights about one.
Well, she picks herself, doesn't she, Miss Andretti? Look, I've seen her look better. She, in the world, we're very fortunate.
Wayeti Rapido, and then
finish. Now we've got the Robert Sangster Stakes coming up, and we've got Miss Andretti as the clear pick there. Back after her ill-fated trip to Hong Kong, she didn't perform up to expectations over there, but she's a great mare here at home. We know that.
And beginning well on the inside, Lucky Diva out fast. Miss Andretti will go up on the outside a bit early, and they go 1-2 in the early part with Belmer making a line of 3. Just behind them was Dollop St. Trinian's, followed by Zip and Juste Mamont. Belmer worked to the lead at the 700. 2 in front of Miss Andretti, a half away Lucky Diva. St. Trinian's fourth, the centre. Wider out on the track, Emily Delago. Back on the inside, Dollops. Then came Gibraltar Campion, followed by Zipanese. Further back to Miss Fantabulous, Serious Speed. Out wider on the track, Sleek Chassis not handling the turn that well. Followed by Spectacular and Juste Mamont, but Belmer full of running. Straightening in the Robert Sangster Stakes, 2.5, 3 in front. Miss Andretti called upon by Newitt to go after her seriously. She wants to duck down to the rails, but she's letting down very quickly now. Miss Andretti at the 200 hit the lead from Belmer. Zipanese is running a nice race on the outside. Juste Mamont from the tail. Miss Andretti's getting tired. Zipanese, Serious Speed coming from nowhere, and Juste Mamont from last over the top wins. Juste Mamont's won it from Zipanese. Serious Speed's run third. And Miss Andretti, well, has she run fourth? She got horribly tired the last 75. She's in a photo with St. Trinian's for that spot. Then came Emily Delago, followed in by Spectacular, Dollops, Sleek Chassis. Further back in the field, Lucky Diva, Gibraltar Campion, Belmer got horribly tired. Miss Fantabulous pulling up behind the others, 109.71. From sheer last to first, Juste Mamont, number 6. It was a clear last at the 600 metre mark. It's come down the outside.
And if they go that hard, this bloke can pick them up. I'll go this way, Matt. 9, 6, 4 and 1.
Well, that'll be very valuable for her because she's out of a daughter of skating, so she's got a great pedigree, Juste Mamont. She's always promised to win a good race, Richard, but she's always been just a little bit behind them. And what do you make of Miss Andretti and her comeback run? She did roll back to the worst part of the track in the straight.
Yeah, I thought she was struggling before the turn, even when you saw Belmer travelling and you thought, well, she might get her, but gee, she wasn't the same Miss Andretti. She didn't travel mark on the bit like you see her, we've seen her in the past. I know she went back to that section where no one wanted to be all day, but she was disappointing.
Very disappointing. Like you think back to Moonee Valley where she's up there outside place and she won.
This head-on film probably highlights the fact of Miss Andretti going back towards the inside. You know, one thing I will say though, she was under pressure and chasing a long way from home. And she hung in badly over the concluding stages, and as you can see, you don't even pick her up there. Sure, it was inferior ground, but taking everything into consideration, I think you've got to respect the fact that a lot of these other horses that have run on have covered ground as well. And earlier in the day we saw a horse, Blarnick, go back to the fence, and it still managed to hang on. She was genuinely disappointing, and your horse really performed to its best, Danny.
She did, Alf. Yeah, we've always had a good opinion of her, and obviously with these fillies, if you can win a Group 1, it puts so much on their value. So
for sure. Now, there were a couple of good runs in that race too. Serious Speed.
Stakes, the Blue Zone Skyline Stakes over the 1200.
Of course, All-American, $2 on the New South Wales tote, and that is skinny. All-Americans on track is $2.90, but it is fun.
Metres for the first time, still very short on the tote at 3.10. And I believe there was a big bet for the gold, the tote at 3.10. And I believe there was a big bet for the Golden Slipper on Hashissan yesterday or the day before. Daddy's racing now. Siderius jumped on terms. On the outside, Packing Supreme began brilliantly. All-American out of the stalls well, and now Hashissan is starting to drive through, but Packing Supreme on the outside. By to Sydney. All-American, the Victorian Galloper, back fifth as they come up towards the home turn. And last of all is Rhino Chaser. The leader, Packing Supreme. Hashissan on the outside as Packing Supreme's riders left the fence. There's a run for over the wicket. And then came Siderius, due by to Sydney, waiting for a run in the centre. All-American's going to come right down the outside, giving the leaders about 4, and he's starting to lengthen quickly now. It's Packing Supreme and over the wicket, fighting it out. They lead from Hashissan. All-American starting to chime in on the outside. Here comes All-American. He swept up and took the lead with 100 metres to go. Over the wicket, back on the inside from Dubai to Sydney. But All-American's in front, and All-American took it out from over the wicket. Dubai to Sydney got third from Siderius. And then Packing Supreme from Rhino Chaser, and Hashissan has run last of all.
He took a little while to get going, All-American, but you could see Rich.
Yeah, Lizzie's down the bottom. We spoke to Lizzie before the race. She gave all the punters the big key.
Then
yeah, well, he's made that form in Melbourne look good. What about the overall form of the race, Mark?
Look, I think he's got a lot of improvement. The winner, he looked very fresh before the race. He was up on his toes and prancing around. I think he'll be the one that's going to improve out of the race. The others have been going around. They're race fit. I think I only want to take one horse home there, number 1, All-American. How Hashissan went up at $3 has got me completely beat.
Yeah. In the yard, he stirred and sweated up, and you'd swear blind he had no hope. All the yard watchers. He went from even money to $3.40 once everyone laid eyes upon him. But you must say he'll be all. I must say he must be all the better for that run, because that he can only improve. Put it that way.
Exactly. And look, he's
he hit the line like a horse that's going to win a race shortly. And the boom horse there, Hashissan, ran last. He was 100s into 10s to win the slipper.
That's the thing that worries me the most, is that there was big odds horses running in the place and a first starter taking ground off the winners at the end there. That just did sort of worry me about the race somewhat.
See, let's get
Embrace Stakes. of $100,000 worth of value for these 2-year-old fillies, and it's a very open betting race. At this stage, we've already got a good move for Samantha Miss. She cost $1.5 million. Filly $1.5 million. Great to see Verona's investing like that, her winning at her first start and now going up to the Group 3 for the 2-year-old fillies, the Sweet Embrace Stakes. And
fillies racing now and coming out slowly, pole away. Went straight back to last with Arms Wide Open and Glow Lamp on the outside showing good gate speed. It's one of the leaders with Estee. On the outside is Sarah the Mare rushing up to make a line of 3. Just at the tail. Leader is Glow Lamp from Sarah the Mare. Estee is travelling nicely behind them. 2 lengths to Rock Me Baby. And then Soho Secret. Samantha Miss starting to pull its way around the field from Stripper LA Wonder. Arms Wide Open, Pole Away and Lucky Kentucky. It's Glow Lamp in front. Sarah the Mare comes up on the outside. Looming up Estee. Rock Me Baby next. Samantha Miss just battling at the moment, and then Stripper, who's starting to make ground, but Glow Lamp got a break at the 200. Stripper's coming off its back and running on strongly. It's Glow Lamp in front. Stripper length away, starting to close the gap. Glow Lamp's getting tired. Stripper is coming at it on the outside. Glow Lamp and Stripper, they hit the line. Stripper! I think Stripper got there right on the post from Glow Lamp and Samantha Miss, and then Rock Me Baby followed by Arms Wide Open, and then came Pole Away followed by LA Wonder, Sarah the Mare, Estee, Soho Secret and Lucky Kentucky.
David Payne had 3 runners. Stripper number 3 looks to have won it though, with Jeff Lloyd on board ahead of $1.70 Mare. $4.50, $1.60. The Inglis interims here after the Sweet Embrace. $2.40 for Glow Lamp and Samantha Miss $1.70.
Well, Samantha Miss was very heavily back. She's got a little bit to learn. Went a fair way back after jumping well over the barrier stalls, Mark.
Yeah, she got a bit lost in front the other day, didn't she, Richard? And I think they were always going to ride her back, but she's still very, very green.
Is she? Kudos. Glow Lamp was home for all money, but doesn't it make it look good? Like, I know Amelia's Dream's gone the other way. Glow Lamp was beaten 8 lengths by Amelia's Dream.
And Dubai to Sydney was gapped as well.
Was gapped as well. What would I know you can't live in the past, but would it, after this weekend, if she was still okay,
went quicker than both 2-year-old races. So I don't think this is slip of form. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Corner just for a strike.
The big Group 1 here, the Randwick Guineas, and this is, of course, for the 3-year-olds over the mile. Weekend Hustler has been in the wars this week. He suffered a float injury on the way up, and then he's also, you can see on the other hock, taken a bit off coming to the track here today. So both hocks he's had just minor cuts and abrasions. He has been vetted again since he arrived at the course, and he's obviously right to run.
Caroline, the big ones that you see there on the left yesterday morning, and look, he's in great order, the Hustler. He's been very heavily backed here on track, $1.70 into $1.60.
All right, we'll quickly have a look through these and we'll get to the Oaks in Adelaide.
When you saddle up a horse of his calibre?
Yeah, I'm a little bit toey today. His first run in Sydney way, so we just want to hope everything goes well for him.
Those things aside, he's worked
from Mauritius winning the Strappers Award, and he's the one getting back $8.50 into $7. He is a clear second favourite. Triple Honour, Richie's tip $21. Tip for second is at $21 at the moment. King Dakar out. They seem to all just be drifting out at this point in time. So Weekend Hustler, the winner of the 4 Group 1s. He's now $1.70 on course, $1.80 on the tote. He is the clear-cut favourite, this son of Hassane, ahead of marching the next bet.
Back out to 170. Racing in the Guineas, Pillar of Hercules and Arapaho Miss both missed the start. Weekend Hustler, the favourite, began brilliantly, and as one of the leaders, King Dakar is firing across from the outside with Steel Giant, Triple Honour and marching. Blinkin' Easy starting to improve. Just in behind them is Grand Dancer, and then came an Avalanche, followed further afield by Arlington. Kickin' Chases off the track. Behind them, Turf and Terror. On the first bend is King Dakar, led by 3/4 Blinkin' Easy. Kickin' Chase making ground. It's over racing, going up to 3rd. Marching's 4th on the rail, and Weekend Hustler the favourite 5th in the centre. Behind them Triple Honour, and then came Steel Giant from Grand Dancer. Further back was Arlington, and then an Avalanche followed by Turfentine and My Sweet Cookie. Then came Arapaho Miss. It's in front of 4 runners. Guillotine, Largo Lad given a smack with the whip from Pillar of Hercules, and last of all is Solo Flyer. 600 to go, and he's off on King Dakar. He's trying to pinch it, coming to the turn, led by about 2 lengths on Marching, tracking up behind it, and then Blinkin' Easy dropping off. Weekend Hustler's taken to the outside. Triple Honour's cut through on the inside to go past it. Favourites under the pump at the moment, and then came Steel Giant. It's King Dakar in front. Marching comes after it with Triple Honour. Weekend Hustler starting to get warmed up. He's coming down the outside. King Dakar still led with 100 to go. Here's Weekend Hustler on the outside with Triple Honour and Marching. 4 of them across the track. Triple Honour and Weekend Hustler. The Hustler goes up on the outside. Photo. It's a Weekend Hustler or Triple Honour. Nothing in it in the Guineas. King Dakar's got third from Marching. And then Arlington and Steel Giant followed by Solo Flyer. And then Turf and Tane, Grand Dancer, Kick and Chase and Avalanche. Arlington, Largo Lad, Guillotine. And then Pillar of Hercules followed by My Sweet Cookie and Blinkin' Easy back at the tail.
Oh, that's very close, isn't it? Weekend Hustler with the last dive at Triple Honour maybe now living. And on the outside, it is the Hustler, Weekend Hustler. Let's have a look as they get to the line. It's very, very close. It almost looked initially as if Weekend Hustler is right there in the mix. We'll wait on the photo. That is, looks like Weekend Hustler maybe on the outside, but there's a whisker in it, an absolute whisker in it. That is even too hard to see here with the dark. I think we might have something a little bit better, which does still look a little bit like Weekend Hustler, but we'll wait on the judges' comment on Honour. You can see Kick and Chase there. Number 1 has got it, Weekend Hustler, and you can hear the roar of the crowd here. Connections ecstatic about Weekend Hustler taking out the Group 1 Ranvet Guineas, his first start.
That's as close as they get.
Yeah, they want to be closer. I won 2 Caulfield Cups by a nose, but that's closest.
Mate, a little bit wayward his first go in Sydney, but geez, he's got a big motor.
Yeah, he got a bit further back than we thought he would, and you know, he's motored home great.
Mate, everything on Weekend Hustler, I honestly thought they were going to semaphore a dead heat, but they haven't. They've found a margin.
They have edging out Triple Honour. So after the Group 1, $170, $1.30 the winner, $3.80 Triple Honour and Arlington $8.30. A nose in the NB. Have a chat with Brad.
There he is, Weekend Hustler.
I had him, and I thought, a stride out, I've got it, and then right on the line, it was, I was just hoping. Nash said he thought he got it, thought I might have got it. And I'm just happy to wait for the result, because when it's like that, it could be either way. And I can tell you I was pretty happy when I seen that I got up. Yeah.
He jumped brilliantly.
So I just did what I could, and thankfully it was just enough.
A special day for the family too. The Cornella, Nash running second, and almost a dead heat, almost a fairy tale for you, for the family.
It would have been awesome to be a dead heat. In saying that, it would have killed me if we got been a dead heat, because at the end of the day, I'm the best horse, and Nash give his a beautiful run.
And then Arlington and Steel Giant followed by...
Yeah, good tipping there by Richard as well. He said the only danger to the champion 3-year-old was Triple Honour, and he was almost... He lost a fair deal of momentum there, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost a bit of ground there, but, you know, it's his first time that way, as you know, and we worked out there on Friday morning, so whether he thought that's where he had to go, well...
It shows the angle. I was standing there right on the line with Ross and that, and you think that the outside advantaged. Everyone on the track thought King Dakar would run third for sure. Arlington got third right out the back.
Well, it was a little bit of a bunch finish. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But obviously he'd had a pretty hard week with the travel up, and obviously everything's not gone right, as Ross has pointed out. So you can only expect him to improve off that.
I will say I spoke to Chris this morning, and
the end result was we didn't quite get there, but terrific honour to run second, and such a close second to just such an outstanding horse. We'll get our chance. I think there's a lot of improvement in our horse. In 6 months' time, he'll be a stronger horse, and we'll get our day.
But back to the Doncaster, Ross, as Mark said, he'll take plenty of benefit from that run yesterday.
That run will do him the world of good, and we're just going to see. We'll play it week by week, and whether we get over the ride, and then we'll look at whether we go on to the Doncaster. But, you know...
He looked on to you.
I called him gone. Just topping the rise, I said to the people around me, well, I don't think he can win from here, because Triple Honour put a length on him quickly. And I thought, well, if you can't keep up with Triple Honour right there, you're not going to be able to nail him on the line. But he regathered himself, this horse, and this is a true test of what a great young horse he is. He gathered himself up, he flattened out, and he did just enough in the shortest of margin. It took quite a while for the judge to absolutely make sure that he'd won the race, which he did.
Are we sure he won the race?
Oh, positive he won.
Well, we'll have a look at the print in a sec.
I'm tipping he would have got the photo if he was on the inside.
Oh, cut it out, Ronnie. Cut it out.
Just on that point, I spoke with Chris, showed that Weekend Hustler had won.
Yeah, well, that's what you do these days. Heather Mills, she got the forensic accountant. You just get the forensic photographer.
Yeah. Back in our days, Alpha would have been a dead heat, I'm telling you, because these pixels that they have on these computers now can just superimpose it to a 1000th, you know. It's
Well,
just
yeah,
unbelievable.
exactly. We're trying to get a result, right?
That's right.
I
Well,
mean,
we-
one pixel will tell you.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was probably the right result because he did everything wrong and still won the race. He's an absolute champion.
He's a champion
Yes,
3-year-old.
Champion
and if he
3-year-old.
goes on to be a champion 4-year-old, he's just a
I
champion.
don't know whether he'll run in the Doncaster now.
I hope he does.
Oh, I'm sure you do. But
yeah, but
look, it's hard. He's got 57 kilos, and look, he wants to wander here. Whether this race is going to do him the world of good, probably will.
Well,
and the runner-up's only got 51 in the Doncaster.
Yeah, look, his preparation was timed to the moment, Triple Honour. He just wasn't good enough, had every hope. By geez, there were some Derby trials here. Steel Giant, he's come from nowhere. He's in the middle here. I like the way he lifts his neck out this last little bit.
Who's got that?
That's Rick Worthington.
Rick Worthington.
Okay, and a couple of other runners there. Look, Guillotine's back on track. Largo Lad, I don't know what now with the new connections, what they're going to do with him, whether he presses on with a Derby campaign.
Now, where is he?
He's last in the white
coming
hat.
to the outside here.
He's just got 2400 written all over him. I think they've bought him as a Cups horse. He probably is one, but do you continue on and try and win an AJC Derby with him? Maybe, and that's Guillotine the Grey, working home, Arlington.
Solo Fly,
Solo Fly, ducking back to the inside. There were some very good Derby trials here.
Going through some of the news.
Look what changes we have for the big Randwick Mile coming up in a few weeks' time. The Hustler's the favourite, $3.80, but Hot Danish continues to firm up. Rock Solid at $7.50. Triple Honour, $17.
Bill, I want to get your opinion of him because this week, he was released by the International Horse Racing Federation that he is the highest rated 3-year-old in the world. I'll tell you a bit more about that shortly because that's a bit deceptive, but he is a gun horse and what racing needs right now.
He certainly is. He's a top-class 3-year-old, but Bruce, if he wins the Doncaster with that weight, I'll hand in my tipping licence for a month.
Only a month?
Only a month, yeah. I've lost it before, you know.
What you're saying is that here is Weekend Hustler winning the Guineas, a terrific performance. So what you're saying is this 3-year-old can't carry the 57.5 and win.
Oh, no, in the form, he beat Triple Honour. Now, Forensics gave Triple Honour a cold as she went past him at his previous start. And Kinga Khan, he was in that race also. Well, Kinga Khan led in that race until the last 50 yards, 50 metres.
And the Hustler's got to give Triple Honour 6 kilos, 6.5.
Yeah.
And if he does win, what's your rating on him?
Oh, very high. If he can win that race with that weight, he's entitled to be one of the all-time great 3-year-olds, yeah. Not in Tulloch's class. Tulloch is easily the best 3-year-old I've seen, or anyone else in my era. Tulloch had 16 starts as a 3-year-old and won 14, and of the 14 included the Caulfield Cup, the Caulfield Guineas, the AJC Derby, the Victoria Derby, and
Cropped at the moment, $6.50. Richie, what else is happening here on course with the betting?
Well, let's go down. Number 1, Rianne, $1.90. Equal favourites on track, numbers 1 and 5 at $2.80. So 90 cents better than that $1.90. Mr. Perfumo, 5 points. It's 31 with the bookies. The 8 is out. Number 9, Related, $17. It's 13 with the bookies. Equal favourites.
Let's see, we've got equal favourites in the ring now. Rian and Mazuka both at $3.10. On the tote, it's a different story. Rian at $2 to Corrupt, who's $10.10, has been backed in from 8 to 7 on track. All set, they're off and racing in the first of the day, and Rian jumped out okay but hasn't got the early speed of some of the others, and Related, the first start, has gone through to hit the lead. It's Related just in front. Bazooka goes up on the outside and is taking him on in the first 200 metres, and Mr. Profumo camps outside them, travelling out 3 wide. Behind them, Rian and Chastelane. Typhoon Fury is third, still out a little bit wide. Related was next, followed by Rian. It'd give the leaders about 3 lengths. He's back in 5th spot on the outside of Chastelane, and Corrupts rider Hugh Bowman starting to send it along as they come to the turn. Rian looks to be on the wrong leg here, coming around the home bend. He's lost his position and gone back to last, and it's Mazuka just in front with Mr. Profumo coming at him on the outside. Then came Typhoon Fury, and Corrupt from last is coming down the outside. It's Mazuka and Mr. Profumo. Here comes Corrupt from the back of the field. He stormed up and hit the front. He's laying in on top of Typhoon Fury. Corrupt's got the front with about 75 to run, and Corrupt is just in front. Related came at him late, but Corrupt held on to win it. Related has jumped out of the ground and just failed. Photo third, Typhoon Fury or Chastelane, and then Mazuka followed by Rian, who couldn't get round the turn, and back last of all was Mr. Profumo.
Gee, that's very close, isn't it? Krupp there looked as if he had it won. Then you see Related, the first starter from the Bart Cummings stable, coming from the rear of the field. That's what's happened. It looked as if Krupp was going to hang on, and here you see Related right on the line, getting his head down as Krupp got his head up, Rich.
Look, I think Krupp's won, but that's only my opinion. And all I tell you what, the more you watch the replay, number 4's won. Krupp has got the verdict. Number 4, Krupp. The more you watch the replay, Caroline, number 9, Related, was a certainty beaten when you watch the replay. And third, number 3, I think it is a nose a half length, Caroline. The margin's 1:10.57, 35 point.
Matthew Smith winning with expensive flying spur colt Krupp. Went out on the limb with some owners last year at the sales. Gets a great result here. And a slipper runner. Related. Should have won. $18 yesterday. It's $10 for the golden slipper. Should have won yesterday. Rich and can win the slipper.
Most definitely. If I had to give a pick now, Bruce, it'd be Related. 2 weeks out from the Golden Slipper, trained by Bart Cummings. We don't relate a lot of the 2-year-olds to Bart, do we? But what a performance. There's no doubt. Craig Newitt had no option. He had no choice. They wanted to go breakneck speed. He had to let them go. And then nothing got tired. And the brakes... Look, the funny thing was, if Craig Newitt had persisted for a run in between them for another 50 metres, he probably runs 3rd or 4th. Well,
here's the head on. You can see Craig with nowhere to go.
He probably thinks the bird's flown anyway, but to run second, he's now in the Golden Slipper. I think it's one of the best things the STC have done. Congratulations, John Nichols, on that. Like, I know some people disagree with us, but I think it's great that horses that were ready to go prior to EI, we've had to jump. Everything's different for this year. Related's right in the Golden Slipper. And can I just say...
I should have bolted in Related, and a lovely colt he is. But take nothing away from the winner. This horse was turned out looking $1 million by Matthew Smith, and I think he'll have him... Whether he's good enough, I don't know, but he'll have this horse 100% on Golden Slipper Day, and good on him, because he
had to love the run of Related though. I mean, he was bailed up on the fence. He had nowhere to go. Look, he was looking for a way out there. Jock's looking over his shoulder, comes across the heel of the 2 leaders, and sort of runs into a dead end there. Has to get checked, goes across the heels of the next 2, and finally finds a bit of space and goes down by a head. Look, as much as I love Corrupt and think he's a really nice young colt, this horse should have won by panels.
And that's known as the Riesling Slipper Trial, or the Riesling Slipper Trial, whichever way you want to say it. Known this year as Love and Kisses opened up as the favourite, has drifted out on course. They've wound her out. Hips Don't Lie, the same story.
I think she opened up that silly, that skinny because of the TAB price. On track, she's only $14. Love and Kisses, $3.40 the tote, $4.60 on track. Equal second favourite. I'm going to tell you in a minute, there's been a real big go now.
In the Silver Slipper, 6 to move up now. Anatomica about to move in ahead of Siena's Fury. Gates are back, they're off and racing now. Freedom March began a little bit slowly, starting to pick up some ground now. Delta Girl was out the back as well. And Anatomica came out very quickly and has got the lead with Love and Kisses, and also Hips Don't Lie. Princess Natural next, followed by Penny Banger, who's now starting to ease back and look for a spot. Portillo in the middle from Delta Girl. Freedom March is a long way back, so is Siena's Fury. And last of all is Jenna B. 3.50 to go, and Hips Don't Lie has gone up on the inside and it's challenging for the lead now. Puts its head in front from Anatomica. Love and Kisses about to come across their heels from Princess Natural, and then came Belle Soleil. It's Hips Don't Lie and Anatomica fighting it out. Love and Kisses a length and a half away. Hips Don't Lie on the inside is just in front of Anatomica. Anatomica coming at Hips Don't Lie. Love and Kisses late. Hips Don't Lie in front. Hips Don't Lie. I think Hips Don't Lie has just lasted from either Love and Kisses or Anatomica. And then came Delta Girl, followed in by Deleek, and then came Portillo and Jenna B. Well back was Princess Nat.
He's still likely to run because he got knocked out of the race.
Great connections here with this horse, Hipster.
Behind Amelia's dream, but let's deal with what we've got. You've got a tough filly who wanted to win yesterday, given an aggressive ride by Williams. On pace, dominated, new at home on Anatomica, gets into a slipper as well. Love and Kisses just misses out on a slipper. They ran 3/10 quicker than the boys, but Rich, I don't think any of those can win the Golden Slipper.
Yeah, look, you're probably right. I love winners. Hips Don't Lie. She's now won 4 from 6. I thought that was a good, tough effort, and
American, though, favourite for David Hayes. Augusta Proud to pay up to $150, $10 with Von Costa de Hero. Sebring, well, news we didn't really know this morning. I would have thought about it and the problems it has heading into the slipper. Sugar Babe might miss out altogether. Bird.
Look, if she draws an alley, she'll be competitive in a slipper. She's had a lot.
We'll probably see it here.
And while you're looking, look at this thing out the back, Jenna B, which it scares me about the form, because she's had a few goes. She's running into dead ends there and should have figured right on their place, get his heels.
Yeah.
No, I think it was after the line, maybe giving her a pat or...
Oh, I don't know. Well, look, it's not a I don't think it's a
Don't lie. And then we're getting down to $15 for Stripper and Rianne.
They got no idea. They got no idea with that market. They're just throwing 10
It's
to
all
1
over
up
the place,
field.
isn't
Yeah.
it? I wonder, just before we move off of that race.
Isn't it, with Racing to Win, only the small field of 5, he's $1.60. Mentality is out to $5.
Yeah, very much so. Racing to Win on the New South Wales...
Most of the times, don't you? He's $1.50 on the tote, a little bit better the bookies. $4.40 Sniper's Bullet and Mentality at $5.20. Now they're moving up. Patinack Farm, Canterbury Stakes, Group 2, $15.50. They're off and racing, and the favourite Racing to Win came out of the stalls running. He was the best into stride, but he's under restraint, and Mentality surged on to go past him now. So Mentality takes it up from Road to Rock and Racing to Win, followed by Sniper's Bullet, and Harry's gone back to last of all. So Mentality trying to lead all the way. He's still nicely clear. Racing to Win is starting to go up along the inside to join Road to Rock in second spot and give chase to the leader. Sniper's Bullet is further back, and Harry is last of all. Mentality still got a nice lead. They are starting to close on it now, however, and with about 400 to go, it's Mentality by 2 and Racing to Win coming up behind him strongly. And then came Road to Rock, followed by Sniper's Bullet, and Harry is struggling at the back, turning for home, and Mentality led. Bowman starting to roll up the sleeves to give chase on Racing to Win on the outside, but Mentality holds him at the moment. He produces the whip on Racing to Win to come after him. Mentality's in front. The grey Racing to Win is starting to knuckle down to his task on the outside, but he won't make it, and Mentality leads all the way in a dashing right in front, goes on to win it and hold off Racing to Win and Sniper's Bullet, followed by Road to Rock, and last in was Harry.
Great tactics there, Darren Beeman on Mentality. Number 2 getting the prize, holding off a Racing to Win. He was holding a lap full of horses. They came around the turn. Farm Canterbury Stakes. Michael Hawkes is now with Bruce.
Thanks very much, Caroline. He did. He rode it brilliantly, the son of Flying Spur. Tactically, the times all went his way. Home in 34.13, made Racing to Win chase. He chased bravely, wasn't good enough. Mentality's a good horse, so is the runner-up, so is the third horse, Sniper's Bullet.
Yeah, month between runs for Racing to Win. Look, no doubt, I think if Huey Bowman, in hindsight, would think early on, maybe I should have just made sure I was a length and a half closer. He got to there, but he'd spent his petrol, and Mentality just kept on going. Yeah, great ride, Darren Beeman.
But why is that a gem of a ride?
Well, on paper you say it's a no-brainer. There's only 5 runners in the race. I think when Harry missed the start, it made the race for this horse. And look, Beedman just went...
I keep thinking about Wayne Harris when you say that.
Yeah. Harry. Morning, Wayne.
Look, this horse just led. Darren dictated. He got 4 lengths in front with no chasers. And look, that was the situation there. The second horse there, Racing to Win, I don't think they can beat him from here on in. I don't think Weekend Hustler can beat him in the rider.
Really?
He'll peak and he'll win.
Yeah.
He ran very well.
Huh?
He ran very well.
I mean, he got a race run to suit. The second horse is an absolute star. You know, he's no easy beat, and that'll top him off for the rider. And Weekend Hustler's in for the fright of his life. I'm sorry to say, because he's the profile horse at the moment. But I think
he'll get beaten, like eventually, because they all do, right? And he may get beaten by a tough.
You're on course.
Yeah, it's equal favourite with Camarilla, Caroline. They bet $6 on Thursday. That's the bad news. I don't think... whenever I get overs, Caroline, that's the death of them. But anyway, let's go. Number 1, Rios at points at $71. The 8's out. Camarilla out to $3.30 now on track. That $2.60 at 70 cents better.
Kensington track. Camarilla open favourite, but has drifted out from $2.25 to $3.30. She still looks like the run will improve her. If she wins today, you can bet up on a next start, because... Racing in the far lap. And Walking or Dancing began quickly, and Rockwood's going up along the rail, and they'll match strides as they settle down at the end of 150 metres. Voice Commander presses on to go up on the outside, and it looks like he wants the front on Voice Commander. So Voice Commander took over and kicked away from Rockwood, who quickly comes off the rail. Rios last of all. They've got about 6.50 to run, and Voice Commander led. Rockwood is right on its back in second spot. Back behind them, Windshear and AC Doocy, Walking or Dancing, and then came Camarilla, who's starting to be taken to the outside and is off the bit now. So Cuddly pushing it out of the way from Our Mystique around the turn, and Voice Commander just led. Rockwood's coming after it on the outside. He asked Rockwood to go now, followed by AC Doocy, and then came Windshear. Voice Commander had a bit of a kick on the turn. Rockwood struggling. Here's AC Doocy coming off the rail. Beedman's brought it through nicely. It's AC Doocy moving up to Voice Commander. AC Doocy takes the lead and rushes away with it to take drag out the far lap. Beat Voice Commander Photo third. Nothing in that Our Mystique or Walking and Dancing. And then came Rockwood, who was most disappointing, as was Camarilla, followed by Rios, So Cuddly and Win Shears out the back last of all.
Second winner on the day for Gale. So, you know, we'll just see what happens.
It obviously tells you the expectation of
the fastest last 400 of the day, 22.62 ACDC, giving a good ride by Beedman. That's typical, isn't it? Disappointment was Rockwood. Of course, Blake Shin telling Connections. Horse felt the firm ground.
On the back, Rockwood, Bruce, that was my fault. They put the prices up on Thursday. I dived in. Why
was it your fault? You didn't tell them that back, did you?
They bet $6 for the win, Rockwood, and $2 the place, which I thought were unbelievable odds. I dived in. He started $2.80 straight out. I don't know. The big fella upstairs, he's not my favourite bloke. He doesn't like me at the moment. Me getting $6.
This is the big one. One of the big ones here at Canterbury Park, the Group 1 Ranvet Stakes over 1,900 metres, and past winners, of course, Desert War going around here. He won it last year. You've also had, and what a great race this is. 13 minutes away from start time, and the favourite, Tuesday Joy, she's $3. She got out to $3.10. She's just firmed in now.
Pentathon has come up, so too has Desert War. Looks a fair bit fitter today, Desert War. Still carrying a little bit of excess, but he's trimmed down a fair bit. And Starter picks up the button. They're off and racing now in the Ranvet, and Tuesday Joy was one of the best into stride. Desert War is under pressure on the inside to pick up. Making ground on the outside is Our Smoke and Joe. Spirit of Tara's up there, and so too is Grand Dancer. So about 4 stretched across the track here early. Tuesday Joy is going to ease out of that speed battle, and Desert War and Our Smoke and Joe will pair off with the judge the first time. They lead by a length and a half on Spirit of Tara, and Tuesday Joy has lubbed into a beautiful spot over on the inside, followed by the Fuzz, and then Grand Dancer, who's pulling hard. He is further back, followed by Princess Cope at about 2 lengths to Sermione. They're in the back straight, and Desert War in front, but Our Smoke and Joe's going up on the outside to serve it up to the leader. And at the 800 metres, Desert War goes again now to increase his lead. There's a length on Our Smoke and Joe. Tuesday Joy camped right behind them. Spirit of Tara on the outside. Then came the Fuzz, followed by Grand Dancer, and then Pentathon and Bromfilenity. Princess Cope is still giving away a big start, as is Sermione. They're the best part at 10 lengths off the leader, which is Desert War. 400 metres to go. His leader's a length as they come up towards the home turn from Our Smoke and Joe. Beedman brings Tuesday Joy across the hills to start its run from Spirit of Tara, and then came the Fuzz. Desert War is headed by Our Smoke and Joe. Tuesday Joy, he starts to go for the stick on it now, Beedman, and here she comes on the outside. Tuesday Joy, she races up and hits the lead, and Beedman's going to get another Group 1 here on Tuesday Joy. A beautiful ride, and gets home to win it from Princess Cope, who flew from second last. Photo third. Desert War is there with the Fuzz, and also back behind those horses next across the line. We've got Our Smoke and Joe pulling up quickly, followed by Bromfilemity, Spirit of Tara, and then came Sermione. Well back behind them next, Grand Dancer, and Pentathon was last in.
The second Group 1 for Tuesday Joy, and Darren Beedman back winning Group 1s here from Hong Kong on his hit and run mission. Lovely big strong mare, this one. She won the Coolmore Classic last autumn, and she's come back and absolutely blitzed them here in the Ranvet Stakes, the Group 1.
Tuesday Joy greet the judge. She's so consistent, even though she hasn't won that many races, today being her third. She's always there in Group 1 company, from a 2-year-old right now to a 4-year-old. I'd love to see her go on and win the BMW, because I think that she's been denied a real chance of staying. But I'll talk with John and see what he'd like.
We'll have to twist your arm.
Interims on your screen. $3.30, $1.50 for Tuesday Joy. Darren Beedman, Gay Waterhouse, John Singleton and Co. $1.50, Princess Cope, and $2.10 for Desert War.
All punters who took the $3.10 about Tuesday Joy. Box seating, coming off the rails, top of the straight. Brilliant Beedman ride. Princess Cope outstanding from the back. Desert War, as Gay mentioned, great to see at the 100-metre mark. You thought, well, it's going to run 5th or 6th. So a good result overall, as you said, Gay.
It was a fabulous result, and you know, it was wonderful for John. He's been a great patron of the stable. You know, he bred the mare. She's by Carnegie. If you remember, I paid $2 million for her 3/4 brother in blood by Sadler's Wells last year at Magic Millions sales, and he's called 7 3s, and he's very talented. But you'll see him, you know, later in the.
Expect to see Tuesday Joy in the run where it was?
No one expected her to be third in the fence, but no one sums up a race like Darren Beedman. He knew Desert War would drag him right into the straight, and look, there was a little theory that she may have been, better on a wet track, but she proved there she can do it on wet and dry. Tuesday Joy. She's been beautifully handled this preparation. Yeah, she'll probably have one more run in the BMW and spell whether that's for an ARC, which may be a bit soon, early October, or for a Melbourne Cup campaign. That's yet to be decided. Yeah, well, Sigo's always wanted to go back there since Strawberry Road. I don't know whether he wants to go back to win it or go back to make it do a better job of the race call, but...
he did a fair job the first time. You're kidding, eh? Tuesday Joy stamped herself as a weight for age horse here because she was able to sit up behind the pace. The old style of Tuesday, she did. Darren rode her absolutely perfectly. Great run from Desert War. He's a great old war horse. He kept fighting on. Our Smoke and Joe's probably, half a length worse horse than Desert War, and it was the same way there. And then Princess Coup, well, the run of the race. I mean, Princess Coup did come down the outside and probably looking for the bigger track, and the bigger track will suit her.
Was it the run of the race? They went half.
I thought
what does that tell us out of the...
With both horses.
And I should call it
Sirmione was disappointing. He was disappointing because Bromfilenity went past Sirmione the last little bit, the mare. So I don't know what to think about Sirmione there.
Was he probably with, in fact, the tight circuit?
Maybe. He looked so well before the race, it was hard to make an excuse for him.
Yeah, well, talking with Bart Cummings this morning, Duff, there was genuine excuses. The horse just simply didn't get on the right leg at any stage, according to Peter Mertens. The horse will go to a...
Of course, this is the Queen of the Turf for the fillies and mares, and it really does seem to be a race between the two, the fillies and the mares. We've got some top-class fillies going round, and...
Number 9 here, he's out. Forensics is your favourite, $3.40 on track with the bookmakers. On the TAB, $2.30 is very skinny. It's $1.10 longer than that $2.30. Occurrence. Can Darren Beedman do it again? You're a brave man to say he can't. $6.90 on track, $7.50. So half point.
Nick here at Canterbury when he was riding here full time, and he is cutting the place up again here today. So Mimi LeBrock goes in with Choo Choo, and Perfect Drop still out of line. Galantess has been strongly supported on track as well. Got to double figures, $10 into 6, $8.20 on the top. They're off and racing now, and Devil Moon came out of the stalls quickly. So too did Mimi LeBrock. Catachoo was away well, and it's up vying for the lead with November Flight and Translate, but Catachoo will press on and take up the lead. So at the first bend, it leads by about 1.5 lengths on Devil Moon and Translate, and they are flying in front. Mimi LeBrock went up to Catachoo, kicks up again to lead by 1/2 length. Behind them, Devil Moon. Translate is fourth on the rail, and then came November Flight. Perfect Drop is next on the rail, getting a lovely run, followed by Cinque Cento, and then came Forensics, who's hemmed away on the inside of Occurrence from Like Me Wild, Eskimo Queen, and Galantessa's last of all. After going hard, they're starting to back off again, and with about 5:50 to go, the leader Catachoo. Mimi LeBrock goes up to put pressure on it again. They lead from Translate. Devil Moon's hard ridden, followed around the outside by Cinque Cento. Perfect Drop's got nowhere to go. Forensics peeling to the outside, and Occurrence has come up on the outside. Mimi LeBrock took the lead, but it's done a lot of work. Here comes Perfect Drop coming through on the centre. Translators next, and Forensics is seeing daylight now. Forensics is flying through. Forensics took the lead with 100 metres to go, and she keeps the perfect record this time in. Went on to beat Perfect Drop and Occurrence, and then came Like Me Wild, followed by Mimi LeBrock, who did a pretty brave job, and further back was Translate, Cinque Cento, Galantess, and then came November Flight, Eskimo Queen, Catachoo, and Devil Moon. She's well below her best at the moment. She finished near last of all.
She's a super filly, isn't she? 3 from 3 this campaign. She won the Golden Slipper, she's won the Golden Rose, the Light Fingers, and she's come out and won the Group 1 Queen of the Turf. Another group winner on the big way for everyone involved.
I guarantee you, there's one gentleman sitting back in his, what do they call it, a palace in Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed. He'll be just sitting there, and he'll be saying to all his staff, I'll own that horse very shortly. I'll own that one. He said, I'll own a few of the others as well.
It's not just for me, but my staff.
I know you've put a lot on your son here, and he's done a lot of work to get this filly back to her Golden Slipper winning form.
Thanks very much, sir. It's a very humble moment for me. I'm very grateful.
Next, you've got to make some decisions.
Yeah, Coolmore looks the ideal race for now, and she's quite solid today, and I think 1,500 metres at Rosehill I think would be ideal for her. Just in itself, this is big.
Go and enjoy it. Well done, Pete. Peter Snowden, highly emotional after a Group 1 win here, Carolyn.
Enormous win. She's going to be hard to beat in the Doncaster on that effort. Like, she's got the, she's got that pattern of just conserving herself and not spending any petrol at all. And when I got the run at the top of the straight inside occurrence, there was no beating her today. It was a terrific effort.
They're good fillies and mares.
From 3 runs, this preparation and forensics for Dan Nicholik. Flying Spur, what a day that sire had. Perfect drop, terrific occurrence. Deep Even came back a kilo over, was for dollars after changing his girth. Some good runs. Mimi LeBrock, Light Me Wild, all good. But, gee, Dan, you can't take anything away from your horse here.
No, she gave him a start and beat them all. I was following Perfect Drop, and Perfect Drop got a perfect run through, where I had to sort of switch over their heels, and I put paid on pretty quickly.
Just for a couple of bounds, it looked like Darren Beeman on occurrence was just...
Super race. It was just great to see her run so well, and I've got to be honest, I thought I had it at the 200 because I still had plenty left, but all credit to Forensics. She's a terrific filly.
Set weights against that grade, she's probably a season away in running against that comp.
Yeah, with hot speed, sort of followed the first and second horses, thought she'd get home good, but I think the track was a bit firm for her. She really jarred up late, action wasn't too good in the straight.
Well, Richard spoke.
Peter, Forensics, the Coolmore in 2 weeks and the Doncaster in 3 weeks. Have you got a leaning at this stage?
If you twist my arm, I'd sooner take the Coolmore, runner in the Coolmore. I just think it's the right race.
For the AJC Derby. Latorio, runner-up in the Vic Derby at $6. Largo Lad now with Hayes at $8. Guillotine, $8.50. Some useful stayers here. You've got the Victorian Depth and Oaks, and again you've got Zarita, who won at Adelaide, of course, Arapaho Miss, who won the Victorian Oaks, Benicia, Ventura for Johnny Wheeler, Camarilla. We'll get to the Oaks, I'm not sure, Rich. Grand Journey, of course, has been to Perth. Fuzz, will he go that way? He's racing in weight for age form at this stage. The Fuzz, $6 over Red Lord, is certainly a good chance. Here, you've got the Victorian Depth and Oaks, and again you've got Zarita, who won at Adelaide, of course, Arapaho Miss, who won the Victorian Oaks, Benicia, Ventura for Johnny Wheeler, Camarilla. We'll get to the Oaks, I'm not sure, Rich. Grand Journey, of course, has been to Perth. Fuzz, will he go that way? He's racing in weight for age form at this stage. The Fuzz...